What up, guys? Gangs Pranks are back with a brand new episode. Today we are here with another month of my monthly figure purchases. We are here for the month of February 2023. As you can see in front of us, we got a brand new set. We'll talk about that in a second. Hope you guys enjoyed the last video that we did for January. Couple cool pickups there. We got some cool pickups here as well. We did go to the toy show this month and a couple fun stuff. But first off, I want to talk about the set. I hope you guys like it. Like I said, there was going to be a new set. Also, last video, the camera light did not die at all, so that was a tick on the list of things to do, get a video out without the light dying, and we did that. And we are here with a new set. So, like I said, the past few episodes was that kind of makeshift set. It was a white background and my old Goosebumps bed sheet that I use for kind of like a placemat type thing. I wanted to get rid of that for a long time, put it off, and finally we are here with the brand new set. Like I said, it is nothing extravagant. It is basically cardboard. This is a cardboard set, and I spray painted it black. It's nothing fancy. Like I said, it's a lot cleaner of a look. Even though it looks like there's dust here, I think it's just the light, because I took my hand there a couple times and no dust. I mean, you did see some dust fly there, and there goes one like over here, but it's not dusty. You saw I ran my hand over it. Anyways, so new set. I just wanted like a plain kind of empty stage type vibe. That's just what I wanted. I just wanted something plain and stuff. I was thinking about adding stickers and maybe some other things to the background, but I'm like, it might be just too distracting on video. For now, we're just going to keep it plain black. I like it. We'll see how this video goes, and if I feel like there's any cool adjustments that I can make that will kind of add a little bit more to the background, I'll do so. But you know what? We're going to see how this video goes, and we'll take it from there. Couple things before we get into the figure showing. Talk about the toy show that I went to. Last time they held a show was the end of November. And they held another show this in the middle of February. They held it during a long weekend, which I totally forgot about. And that made this toy show probably the worst toy show I've ever been to. Not in terms of the toys were fine. It was just so fucking jam-packed with people. It was insane, insanely busy, basically shoulder to shoulder with people. I almost got into a confrontation with somebody because I was trying to take a photo of something. Speaking of photos, I didn't take many photos because there was just so many people. I didn't feel comfortable taking photos, and people are just kind of always walking through, and I don't want people to think I'm like taking pictures of them secretly, even though I just want to take a picture of the venue. So I might have taken like 4 or 5 pictures. I'll throw them up on the screen, but I did not take as many as I did last time. So anyways, I almost got into a confrontation with this guy because so I was at this table and I saw these Elvis statues. Now I took a picture of it, but there's the story that comes with that picture. I was thinking about buying them because my mom is really into Elvis. When I was a kid, she had tons of Elvis stuff all around the house, posters, his movies. She has like this Elvis doll. She still has it displayed, but she had like tons of Elvis stuff. And I saw these really cool Elvis kind of statues on one of the tables, and I was going to kind of send her a picture and be like, hey, check these out. Are you interested in them? And trying to get the picture, just me thinking about this is making my blood boil. So I line myself up for a picture, and this guy to my left bumps me. And I'm like, it's pretty packed in here. That shit's gonna happen. People are just bumping into each other the whole time. I lined my phone up for a second picture, and then he starts talking to the owner of the table, who it is, and he goes over and through my camera to like shake the guy's hand, and I'm just like, are you fucking serious right now? Literally, as I'm taking the photo, this happens, and I was just like, buddy, if this happens for a third time, we're going to have a problem here, because now it's seeming intentional. Now you're just coming off as just this huge jackass. But luckily, I got my third picture without incident. So, oh my God, he pissed me off so much. I was like, are you fucking serious? You see me taking a photo. The first time, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't see me, bumps into me, whatever. Second time, to go over, so I'm holding my camera like this. He comes over like this to go shake the guy's hand. And I was just, oh my God, I almost fucking Mortal Kombat fatality'd, ripped his goddamn spine through his mouth. It was close. Very close. Everyone left unharmed, thankfully. But my wallet didn't leave unharmed, because I ended up picking up a bunch of stuff. Not as much stuff as I thought I was going to buy. I bought, off the top of my head, I want to say maybe 7 or 8 different things, and most of those were already prearranged with a guy that I know. So I only picked up like 4 things I picked up just kind of browsing the show. A lot of cool stuff, honestly, but I was trying to take it easy because, February is a short month, and it's crazy how in that short month I still accumulated a bunch of stuff. So I kind of wanted to go light this month, but I still ended up picking up a bunch of stuff, so that sucks. Yeah, we'll be showing that off here shortly. Before we get into that, I'm going to quickly queue up a video in case this is your first time watching and you're not sure what I collect. I have this pre-recorded video that I'm going to play right now, and I'll just kind of show you the collections that I'm building towards. So without further ado, let's cue that up. Before I show off what I got for the month, I'm going to quickly go through what I'm collecting and what you can expect in this series. And it breaks down to 8 different collections. First one, we got Marvel Legends. For this, I mainly collect Spider-Man and X-Men, mainly anything that comes in those lines. I've broken down and basically started collecting one of each character. I don't collect everybody per se. There are characters where I will shy away from. Characters who I'm very not familiar with, I will stay away from. Unless they're on clearance and they're a good deal, I might snag them up. But I tend to just stick with characters that I'm familiar with or I know somewhat. And with the Marvel Legends, I don't collect any MCU figures. I mainly just do comic, video game, or animated show design characters. Next, I collect McFarlane's DC Multiverse. For this, I mainly just do Batman, his allies, his villains, just kind of get one of each. I am starting to build out some other collections like Flash and Green Lantern. Now I'm kind of looking to collect one of each major character. Major villains, major heroes, kind of do like a Legion of Doom and a Justice League kind of setup. For this as well, no movie figures, strictly video game or comic-inspired designs. Next, I collect Transformers. For my Transformers collection, I only collect Beast Wars figures, or animal characters, whatever you'd like to say. With this, I started collecting with the Kingdom line, and that has transitioned to the Transformers Legacy line, so that's what I'm collecting now. I also collect the Retro Beast Wars figures, and for this, I'm just kind of looking to collect the one of each, Predacons, Maximals, stuff like that. Next, I collect Dragon Ball SH Figuarts. For this collection, I'm just looking to collect one of each character. Now, each character does have multiple forms, like Goku, for example, has 7 different Saiyan forms. I might collect those all eventually, but my main priority is just getting one of each character. Next, I collect Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. With this one, it's a little weird. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I respect them more than I like them. I grew up somewhat with them, but I'm not crazy about them. But I like them enough to where I want some representation of them in my collection. So that's why I've decided to collect the Loyal Subjects Best Action line. For this, I just really want the Turtles and Shredder. They are creating other characters. But for me, I want to collect all 4 Turtles and Shredder. And once I have that, I'll start to collect some of the other figures. But if they decide to end the line eventually, I'll be happy with having the Turtles and having Shredder. Next, I collect video game characters. For this, I mainly collect characters from video games that kind of mean something to me, my favorite games. I also collect some figures of characters from other games, kind of, bigger games, Sonic, Mario, stuff like that. But I tend to just pick characters from games that I really care about. Next, I collect Power Rangers. For this, I collect Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection. With this, I'm looking to collect one of each Ranger, each villain, just one of each. There's also a couple different items in the Lightning Collection. They're starting to do the Zords, and they do some roleplay items. For me, I do plan on collecting the Zord Ascension Project as they release more of that. In terms of roleplay items, not for me. For me, I'm just about the figures. And then last but not least, I collect wrestling figures. For this, I collect mainly WWE Elite Style or AEW Unrivaled Unmatched. I collect both those lines. I'm just looking to collect one of each wrestler. And fun fact about this collection in particular, it is the only collection of mine that I take out of box for whatever reason. Everything else stays in the box, and I display it as such. So now that you know what I collect, let's see what editions are going to be coming to my collection this month. All right, now that you know what I collect 8 different collections, and this month we're only going to be adding to 6 of them. This month there will be no additions to the McFarlane's DC Multiverse, and no additions to the TMNT Best Action line. So those are 2 things I did not get anything for. I was close with the DC Multiverse stuff. There's a couple things I had my eye on, but nothing enough to make me pull the trigger on. So I think we'll have some stuff for March. I think I got some pre-orders that are supposed to be fulfilled sometime in March, so hopefully we'll have that stuff. But unfortunately this month, nothing. But I do kind of have something DC related. And so I went to get a haircut the other day, and the place I go to, it's at this mall by my house. And I went to get a haircut, and there's a GameStop in that mall too. And I'm like, I want to pop in the GameStop and see if they have anything. So I get the haircut. Awesome. I'm feeling dope and fresh. Like anytime you get a haircut, you feel like you just feel so much cooler, At least I do. I just feel, I'm like, damn, I look pretty good now. I appreciate my barber does a great job. Shout out to Gerardo. So yeah, I went to the GameStop. I ended up actually picking something up. I wasn't expecting to, but I'm like, damn, this is here. You know what? I'm going to end up picking it up. Anyways, beside this, this GameStop across the mall, it's about 30 feet away, something like that. There was this bookstore called Indigo. I'm not sure if they're in the States. At least in Canada, they used to be called Chapters, and I would go there a bunch as a kid, and I saw it was open and stuff, and I believe they actually moved it from where it originally was. I don't go in the mall too much. I literally just go for my haircut, and that's it. I hate fucking being at the mall. I used to work at a place in the mall, and especially during Christmas, the last place you want to go to will be the mall. You know how people are like, oh, let's go chill, let's go to the mall, whatever? I had my mall fix. So whenever I go to the mall, I just go to where I want to or need to go to, and then I get the fuck out of there because I hate being there. Anyways, so I end up going to the bookstore, Indigo, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pop in. I wasn't really expecting to buy some stuff. I know it's shocking, but I actually do end up buying something. So, but anyways, I went in with no intention. I just wanted to look. I just want to see what they have. I didn't expect them to have a great selection, but I go in, I'm looking for my section, which is graphic novels, and I find it. And it's about 5 bookshelves long, so a decent little selection. And I was just kind of looking through. I'm like, damn, they actually have some decent stuff. Nothing I really wanted to buy until I stumbled upon these 2 books. One of them is DC related. That's why I'm kind of bringing this up. And one of the books that I bought was the graphic novel for Batman 89. This one's really cool. I'm actually in the process of reading this right now. I'm on the last chapter, or last issue. This is a 6-issue story combined. And for those of you who are unaware, let's see if I can make this stand. Oh, perfect. For those of you who are unaware, this is based in the Michael Keaton Batman universe. And this is basically a what-if telling of the 3rd movie. It's not completely accurate. There are some, I don't want to say leaked stuff because people have talked about it, but basically Batman Forever is kind of what the sequel was supposed to be to Batman Returns, where the villains were supposed to be Joker and Riddler. And, we never got Tim Burton's vision in that 3rd movie. It ended up going to a different director. I believe it was Joel Schumacher. I think he did Batman and Robin. I don't know if he did Batman Forever. He might have done both. I'm not too sure at the moment. Those are two movies I kind of try and block out of my memory. Actually, I did like Batman Forever. Batman and Robin, not so much. But a Batman movie I did love as a kid was Batman 89 here, Michael Keaton's. I watched the first one multiple times, and the second one too, but not as much as the first one. The second one creeped me out. I was always scared of that scene where Penguin bites the guy's nose off in the newsroom. Freaked me out as a kid. I could not watch it. I was always terrified when that scene was coming up. This is basically kind of a what if story. This is kind of would have been if there was a third movie. Like I said, this isn't completely accurate because where this story, the only villain is Two-Face, and I'll show him in a second. Like I said, original script was Riddler was supposed to be in the movie as well. But if we take a look on the back, which I think looks pretty cool. Spoilers, if you have not read it or you're interested in reading it, there are going to be some spoilers with what I show on the back. So really cool cover. I love that a lot. Batman 89. We get the little spine there. And on the back, final warning if you don't want to look. All right, last chance. Here is the back. So in the comic, we've got Batman, of course. Robin, who ends up, joining Batman. Won't talk about it too much. Catwoman makes an appearance again. Two-Face is the main villain. I mentioned that before, but in the other movies, Batman and Batman Returns, there's this actor, Billy D. Williams, and he plays Harvey Dent in those two movies. He doesn't have the biggest role. It's kind of a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. He was primed for a big role in the third movie, which unfortunately never came to fruition. They did go with Two-Face, but they ended up getting Tommy Lee Jones. If this was Tim Burton and he was doing a third movie, we would be getting this Two-Face, and I think it looks really cool. He even got his mustache burned on there, and I like this version. I'm not saying I didn't like the Batman Forever one. It was very over the top. He was almost Joker-ish, where Two-Face is he's like a reserved gangster who's got some craziness to him. When I think of Two-Face, that's kind of how I think of him. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, Two-Face is the main villain of this story. And this woman here, I like the way that she's holding that batarang because it kind of teases something that she turns into. But this is Barbara Gordon, who is a cop, as you can tell by the badge. She's actually dating Harvey Dent. And kind of judging by the way she's looking, she's got the batarang there, kind of in the chest position. She's wearing the colors, yellow and black, kind of alluding to potentially becoming Batgirl. I don't know if that happens, I'll say that. I haven't read the last issue. I don't know if she becomes Batgirl. But Robin's really cool. If they were to do the third movie with Tim Burton, we would have gotten Robin, and it would have been played by Marlon Wayans. And that just always weirds me out, where I'm like, damn, I kind of would have really liked to have seen that. Him and Michael Keaton as a team. Michael Keaton, the serious, no-nonsense actor, and then you got Marlon Wayans, who's this, funny guy. I don't know how he would have been described as an actor at this time. He probably still was doing some jokey stuff, because I think he was doing In Living Color at this time. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too familiar with his career. But yeah, this is just a really cool book. I'm glad I picked this up because, like I said, I grew up watching the movie. Love the first one. I love the second one too, but like I said, had some scenes that kind of scared me. And that's kind of why we didn't get a third one, is because it wasn't very kid-friendly. A lot of sponsors were like, man, this is kind of a dark movie. It's kind of scaring kids, and that's kind of who we want to market to, because they're going to buy the toys and shit, but if they're not watching the movie because they're too scared and their parents aren't going to take them, we're not going to make this movie. And that's kind of what ended up happening. Tim Burton ultimately did not make the third movie, and we never got this. So it's cool that we actually get to get this story somewhat. Like I said, Riddler does not make an appearance in this at all, unless he does make an appearance in the last issue. I'm not too sure. Haven't got that far, but really cool. This is, like I said, 6 issues in total, and just a really cool book. One of my favorite things is if we peel off the cover, the actual book is a VHS of Batman 89, and it looks beaten up. It's taken a beating. That's probably what my VHS looked like. I just think that's really cool. I'll kind of just cycle through the book, show you some pages. There's some concept art. It looks good. Story's fine. Art's good. There's a nice shot of Robin there. There he is. And yeah, a good book. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm happy I picked this one up. Another book I bought, and it'll kind of segue into the first thing that we're going to show off, is Transformers Beast Wars Volume 2. I was debating about picking this up because, one, I want to read this because I have not read this yet. I bought the first couple issues digitally. I haven't gone back and bought the rest of them, and obviously this is Volume 2, so I don't have Volume 1 yet. So I was debating, I'm like, man, I don't have Volume 1. Maybe I should wait, because they only had Volume 2 and Volume 3. Should I get it? Should I not? I ended up picking it up, and I am looking for Volume 1 at the moment. And I do want to read this, because I am a big Beast Wars fan. So as you can see there, this is the character that's created just for the comics. It's a bat. Her name is Nyx. And I'll just kind of cycle through the images. The art style is not my favorite. I like the covers, but the actual art style that they use, like that, not crazy about it. There's all the Predacons. Well, not all of them, but a good chunk of them. Pretty cool book. I need not chapter 1, volume 1. Actually, here we can see the whole team. Optimus Prime, Cheetor, Dinobot, Rhinox. There's Nyx. Like I said, character created just for the comics, and this character as well, Scold. Scorponok. Actually, the character that I was going to talk about, that we're going to introduce next, is actually not on this page, which is unfortunate, but you know what? He'll be making a real-life appearance. So anyways, cool book. I've not read this yet. I plan on reading it, but only after I get Volume 1. So, cool. But anyways, that's going to segue us into our first showcase. We are showing off Transformers Beast Wars, and the person that will be getting an introduction. And I'm very excited about this character because loved him in the show. I always thought he was very entertaining. He brought a lot of comic relief. A lot of Predacons brought comic relief, but this one especially. And the one I am talking about is the somewhat newly released Transformers Legacy Predacon character, Inferno for the Queen. He looks absolutely awesome. I love that face right there. I do have an issue with this, and it is like the other issue I've had with a previously acquired Transformers Legacy figure, and that is Tarantulas, which I'll show off here in a second. And so these bugs have something in common. Not only are they Predacons, but they are also the victims of plastic-free packaging, where there is no plastic protecting the figure. There is me touching it. There it is. Any little child with greasy hands can touch this thing. I hate it. But the Tarantulas was also plastic-free packaging, and I ended up adding a window to it. And I think it looks pretty good. I actually did way more construction than I wanted to. I thought I could just kind of cut one side and then take it out and kind of easily prop in the window. I probably could have, but I ended up cutting the whole box up, and I cut up the top, I cut up the sides. As you can see, I retaped it. And I cut up the bottom too. I just basically opened the whole thing and installed the window. But I think it does look good. Hopefully I don't have to do all those cuts with Inferno. But anyways, we'll talk about Tarantulas after. Just want to talk about the windowless, or the plastic-free window for Inferno. But I actually really like this. Like I said, this is the... Actually, I don't know if I mentioned this part. This is the last character that I needed to kind of complete the core team of Predacons. So this is actually pretty cool. I'm going to do a whole display after I show him off. So there he is. You can see him in the box. Just trying to show what's inside. Got a little gun down there. Trying to angle it. You can see kind of the cannons there. But I thought the jaw was going to move, but the jaw has no articulation. Whoops, better if I get it on camera. The jaw has no articulation at all. That's just the head moving. Oops. Just the head moving. The jaw does not move on its own. Unfortunately, I think it would have been cool if they did that, but not too big of a deal. But yeah, I think the figure looks good. Nice little illustration of him there. I would have liked him to just have a flat little image of him as a bug. Maybe not with this, with the machine gun on the top, but that's just me. Nice little illustration of him there. There he is on the back as a bug and as a robot. Some generic Transformers Legacy stuff here. Boring shit on the bottom, and on the top, that's all that's there. Transformers Legacy. So, really cool. Happy to have this one. And now I am going to set up all my Predacons. So, give me 1 second. So, here are all of them. Kind of having a... I'm controlling this with the actual stick portion, but here we go. Here's the team complete. We've got Scorponok, Black Arachnia, Megatron here. Inferno, Pterosaur, and Tarantulas. So the whole team is complete and assembled. Really happy about this one. Happy to complete this. And I already have all the main Maximals, and it's nice that I finally have them to show off with all the Predacons. All the main Predacons. There's still a few more, but these were the main ones featured in the show. So really cool to see. Happy to have them all. And especially our boy here, Inferno. For the Queen!
Blast that scheming spider! Again he defies me!
Say the word, my queen, and he shall burn.
Not just yet. And for the last time, stop calling me that!
As you command, my...
Next, we're going to be going into video game figures. Only got one edition for this collection, and this is a collection that, you know, I've seen in store a few times, and for some reason now I'm kind of like, I kind of want to buy some figures for that. And the game I am talking about is a character from the game, one of the characters, and it is Bloodhound from Apex Legends. For some reason, I've been seeing a lot of Apex Legends stuff. I don't know, it's just been kind of popping up on my feed. I know there was a big update, and I used to play Apex Legends. I'm going to be honest, I'd probably say Apex Legends is my favorite BR, my favorite Battle Royale. I played all the main ones. I played Fortnite, I played Apex, I played Call of Duty. The only big one I haven't played would be PUBG. Doesn't look too fun from what I've seen. But yeah, I've seen these Apex Legends figures in stores like so many times, and I was kind of like, should I get them? Do I like Apex Legends enough to pick these up? And the answer is, yeah, I do. I did like Apex Legends. I stopped playing it a while ago. Like, I was looking at the roster the other day, and I'm like, God damn, there are so many characters. Last time I played was when they introduced a character called Crypto, and now they've added like 10 or 12 characters on top of what the roster was when I played, and I'm like, holy shit, I don't know any of these people. Some of them already have figures. Just shows you that it's been going on for a long time. Like, even though I haven't been playing and keeping up with it, you know, the game still goes on, just like anything. I'm going to collect a few Apex Legends figures, and I decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to collect a squad full, which is three people. In case you never played Apex Legends, that's considered a full squad. It's teams of 3, where most BRs are teams of 4, or you can go solo, duo, and 4. You can obviously do 3 as well, but Apex Legends, the max is 3. And I'm going to get 2 other Apex Legends characters, and I'm going to get the characters that I played the most. Bloodhound was a character that I played quite a bit. I started out as a Gibraltar main, because I like the big shield. I picked up Lifeline because I like the care packages. And then after that was like in the beginning when the game first launched and nobody knew what they were doing. After that, the game picked up tremendously. Like if you played against some good people, they are going to run and gun you down. So the game became all about speed and mobility. So that's when I kind of started playing characters like Octane, Bloodhound, Pathfinder. So what I'm gonna do is I already got one, got Bloodhound, got one of the 3, and then I want to get 2 more Apex Legends characters, and I want it to be the characters that I actually played. So right now I got my eyes on Lifeline, and I'm not sure about a third, maybe Octane. I saw a Mirage figure. I was never a Mirage guy because his ability just seemed so worthless because you always knew who the fuck Mirage was. You're like, okay, those two are the dummies because they're not shooting you, and the guy that is shooting you is, the actual person. So his ability always sucked. I never got into playing him, but he was probably my favorite character. Fun voice lines. I think he's voiced by Nolan North. Don't quote me on that, but he's very Nolan North-ish. So he's probably my favorite character. I was thinking about getting him, but I think I'm just going to stick with characters that I've played. So got Bloodhound, and the other two I'm thinking about, definitely probably Lifeline and Octane. That would be my who I'd like to get to complete the squad. But I know there's no Gibraltar figure, so that's unfortunate. But let's show off the box real quick. The figure itself, I think, looks pretty good, but the box looks extremely empty. So as far as the figure, it looks good. It's made by Jakks Pacific. Yes, it is. They used to do the wrestling figures I used to collect back in the day. Ruthless Aggression and all that fun stuff. Got a large collection of Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. We'll be showing off some wrestling figures later. None of them are from Jakks Pacific, though. But anyways, back to the topic. I think Bloodhound himself looks good. I went back and actually looked at some concept art. Not concept art, but actual, shots of him. And I think it looks pretty good. There's a shot of him here. And I would say it looks good compared to what's on the box. I'd say it's pretty accurate. He comes with this shotgun. I forgot what it's called. Maybe it tells us on the back. Peacekeeper. Comes with a Peacekeeper and his trusty bird, who I don't know who the name is. I would have liked an extra set of hands. Like I said, the box looks very, very empty. And I feel like they could have added one more accessory, maybe another gun, maybe a pistol of some sort. He does have a pistol kind of holstered here, but I don't believe you can take it out. I believe it's just built onto his utility belt. But I think he looks cool. I think he looks good. Like I said, I wish there was something else in that emptiness there. Extra set of hands, probably, So there is the figure there. Apex Legends, Bloodhound. Bloodhound there. On top, we got the Apex Legends logo. Bottom's got some boring stuff. On the back, we already saw. Here he is. He is part of Wave... I don't know if that's Wave 3 or he's considered the third character. I'm assuming this might be Wave 3. But here are the other people in the wave. We got Wraith, who I never played because the person I was playing with always played Wraith, so I just let him do that. And then Pathfinder actually looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind getting a Pathfinder figure, but I was trying to look at some, and they are very hard to come by or very expensive. So that's why I feel like Lifeline and what was the other one I mentioned? Octane. I feel like those are kind of easier to get compared to everyone else. Not much is known about him. As you can see, real name unknown, age unknown, homeworld unknown. And he comes with 25 points of articulation. And his bird is just called Raven. I thought it had a name, but I guess not. Nice little shot of Bloodhounds. And I like it. I'm quite happy with it, and I think it's going to make a nice addition on my shelf. I cannot wait to see who I pick up along with him. I'm leaning towards Lifeline, but then you have someone like Caustic, who I think looks cool. His ability is completely worthless, but I like his gas mask thing. I just like his whole visual. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe I might even get some characters that I don't even know. You got Revenants. Who else? Crypto, I saw a figure of. Watson. Loba. Those are some of the newer characters, or newer when I was playing, so I'm not too familiar with them. But yeah, really cool. I'm super happy about this one. Next, we are going to be adding to our Dragon Ball SH Figuarts collection, and we are adding another villain, unfortunately. The last episode, we added a villain and my first hero, which ended up being... I'm not going to tell you. You got to watch the last episode. Spoiler, we'll be showing him off here in a second. But I ended up getting another villain. I'm going to be honest, he looks way cooler than I thought he was going to be. I'm not the biggest fan of this person's first form. It looks cool, but the fourth form, it's perfect. Or third form, sorry. I keep confusing him that he has a fourth form, but he actually only has three forms. Imperfect, something, and then perfect. And if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you know who I'm talking about. But if you don't, I am talking about the character Cell in his first form. I think the figure looks really cool. I'm not the biggest fan of his first design, but having it in hand, I actually like have a new appreciation for Cell. Because my favorite Cell is, his third form. Perfect Cell. And this one I always thought looked kind of weird. Like he's got the beak, so it kind of looks kind of birdish. And he's got all the spots and stuff and the weird tail. Well, you can't see it here, but he has a sucking tail, an eating tail right there. If you're unfamiliar with Cell, he was released during the Android saga. He ended up having his own saga, but he spun off of the Androids, which I would say my favorite season, or arc of Dragon Ball. Really like the androids. But anyways, enough about that. Cell came after. He was post-android, where he was technically an android, but not, because I don't remember his story. I think he was created by Dr. Gero, but then he wasn't ready or something. I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I watched the show. I don't really remember too much about Cell in the beginning. But let's take a look at the box. Actually, let's take a look at the accessories first. So here we have Cell, who I think looks absolutely awesome. All his little spots and stuff. He's basically like a green cheetah. Like I said, he's kind of got a bird mouth with his little beak, and you can kind of see it here with the different faces. We got a screaming face, a kind of neutral face, and a happy face. Actually, that would probably be his neutral face that he has on. A kind of smirking face, maybe? And then we've got a smiling face. And then we've got some tail accessories. And on the side here, his actual tail, which is this needle-looking thing. And then whenever he consumes people, it opens up into that. And that's how he swallows him. And then it helps him become stronger, so... and also we have extra sets of hands and stuff in there as well. But there is the box, our special little logo for Tamashii Nations, which I believe I pronounced correctly. But that is the special sticker that they put on, so you know it is actually bought by them, because there are a lot of impersonators that put out these figures, so you got to be careful who you're buying from. A couple little things to look for. Blue Bandai logo and this sticker right here. I believe this sticker as well, but this is definitely the one that you want to pay attention to. But here is the box. I was kind of shocked because his box is actually black, where the past few villains that I've got... So my collection's small. I've started somewhat recently. I've got 3 villains and 1 hero. All the villains that I have all come in purple. And Krillin, who is the hero that I got... Spoiler. Not really a spoiler, in case you watched the last video. His box is orange. So I was kind of expecting Cell's box to be purple, because it seemed like purple for villains, orange for the heroes, but he actually came in his own. It's like a really dark green. You can kind of see it here. It's like dark green, slight brownish. Anyways, it's not purple. That's the whole moral of the story. So we'll check out the box. There it is. The side. The top, the other side, the back. And here you can see some poses. This rock does not come with it, as you can see right here. Rock sold separately. But here he is going for, not a Kamehameha, I forgot the move that he's got. But he can fly, spread his wings. And that's basically what he looks like, neutral. And I think it looks cool. I actually really like how this turned out. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of his first form, but this makes me have an appreciation for him. So I'm going to bring out Frieza and Krillin to kind of show off the boxes. So like I said, all my past villains have come in a purple box, and I only have 1 hero, but I believe the heroes come in an orange box. And as you can see, Cell gets his own color. This is not my whole collection, and the only one that we're adding to this episode is Cell, but I just brought some other figures to kind of compare him with. So there he is. I think they look good together. And another villain for the edition. Hopefully, I think for March, we'll have a hero. No guarantee, but I think it's a very high chance right now. We will have an edition, and it should be a hero. So look forward to that little tease for March. But other than that, I think Cell looks cool. And I don't know if his other forms have been released. I believe his not his fourth form. He's only got 3 forms. His third form, I believe, has a figure. I don't believe they've released his second form as a figure as of yet that I'm aware of. Could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section. But I don't think his second form has a figure yet. Probably coming soon. All right, next we're going to be adding to my Marvel Legends collection. We're going to be adding 3 people here. 2 of them I randomly picked up at the toy show. I knew I could get these figures for a good price. I've seen them for really cheap, and I've kind of held out on them to kind of get the best price possible. And that's kind of what happened at the toy show. I saw them. They were this person had them in a few boxes, and it was kind of like discounted stuff where he's like, okay, yeah, this is my cheap stuff of like Marvel Legends that, don't sell. People aren't really looking for them, so he's just trying to get rid of them. So I took a look through the box because I knew I might find 1 or 2 that I'm looking for, and I ended up finding 1 or 2 that I'm looking for, and we're going to show them off real quick. The first one is a character that I'm not familiar with, but I know she's a Spider-Man villain. And I actually really do like her look. She's very colorful and fun. And the character that I am talking about is the White Rabbit. This is one of Spidey's newer villains. I don't believe I've ever seen her in a story, in a comic or anything, but I just really like her look. Like, she looks, I can kind of see her being like a DC kind of character with the Mad Hatter, and you kind of have, you're building out the Alice in Wonderland type story. I believe that's the same case. We're going to read her biography here in a second, but I just really like her look. I just think she looks fun and unique. There's a nice shot of her there, which she looks like in the comics. We'll read her description, which is only like 2 sentences. A brilliant woman with a twisted mind, Dr. Lorena Dodson, is the deranged queen of crime, the White Rabbit. That's unfortunate. I wish these bios were a little more descriptive, but I know she is a Spider-Man villain because her description lists her as a villain, and she does come in a Spider-Man wave, so I know that she is a Spider-Man themed character. So we can see other people in the wave: Shang-Chi, White Rabbit, a bunch of different Spider-Mans, and a Vulture, and they all come with a build-up figure piece for the Demo Goblin. And the piece that she comes with, as you saw, is his glider, which I think looks really fucking cool. Just a glider made of flames, like that just looks sick. It makes the box really heavy. It adds quite a bit. Because of it being in the box is why we don't get any accessories, which is something I would have liked to seen with her, where she gets maybe an extra set of hands. Because she's already got a weapon here, her umbrella, that comes with a gun effect there. I don't know if you can remove it or not. I'm assuming possibly, because I know they've done that with other characters, but as a whole, I actually like her quite a lot. I think she looks very fun, and we'll just take a look at her box. There's the same picture we saw on the other side, same as here. Bottom, boring stuff. Top, Spider-Man logo, so we know she is a Spider-Man character. And the back that we already saw. So I really, really like her look, and I got to do some research on her and maybe read a story or 2 that she's in. I really like her look. I can't say it enough. I just think she just looks very interesting compared to like other Marvel characters that I've seen, where it's like, I don't, was it the last episode, The Hood? Where it's just this regular ass looking guy with a cloak, and he's this huge supervillain and he has guns. It looks fucking lame. But someone like White Rabbit actually looks super cool. Next character, pretty timely because she was part of a movie that just came out in February, Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp in Quantumania. I don't remember what the movie's called. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard okay things, like it's not doing the greatest at the box office, which is unfortunate because this is kind of like, I would say, Marvel's next big movie where, like, we've had Black Panther come out, but I wouldn't really say it had anything to do with the greater Marvel picture. And I'm saying that from an outsider because I have not watched the movie yet. But I just feel like that one doesn't have as many ramifications for the whole MCU, unlike Ant-Man, where in the movie, you got the villain that's going to be the huge villain for the next few movies, the next arc in Kang. If you watch the trailers have looked pretty good, and it kind of teases that someone might die. Like, this is the third Ant-Man movie that we're getting. So it's like, man, are they killing off his character? Are they going to put Wasp as a main character instead of Ant-Man? So anyways, the character that I'm talking about is the Wasp. I have not gotten a Wasp character yet. I do have an Ant-Man. I did not bring him to show for some fucking reason. I don't know why. But yeah, here we have, is it Hope Van Dyne? Oh, Janet Van Dyne. Hope is... I'm not too familiar with Ant-Man and the Wasp too much, so yeah, here she is. I think she looks good. This is kind of her, not classic look, but I don't think she has very many figures in the Marvel Legends, but this is kind of the one that I always wanted to lean towards, and I think it looks good. I wish she had an extra pair of hands. That'd be the only thing, the kind of weird hands that she has here, where... I don't even know how you describe that. And then obviously she comes with wings, which I believe are detachable. Don't quote me on that. You can't... Actually, yeah, they're not attached because we can see the peg right there. So they are detachable, which is pretty cool. And she comes with a Build-A-Figure piece for, I believe it's MCU Ultron, yes. And here are the other people in the wave. We've got Ant-Man, MCU Ant-Man, Wasp, Bulldozer, Tiger Shark, Grim Reaper, and Giant Man. And we'll just read her description here. Marvel's Wasp. Janet Van Dyne flies and fights alongside Ant-Man, stinging evildoers with bioelectrical blasts. I do have one gripe with this figure, where I like to pose a lot of my Marvel Legends figures sided, but for her... she doesn't have a picture on either side. It's just ants, which is unfortunate. I would have liked a nice picture of her, similar to White Rabbit, where a nice little illustration of her. So I know that, oh, White Rabbit is in this box. Is Ant-Man in this box? Who the fuck is in this box? But, yeah, I would have liked a picture of her on the side. Small little gripe, just for the way I display my stuff. I would have liked that. So we'll show off the box real quick. Boring stuff there. Ants on the side. Took a look at the back already. More ants on the side. And on the top we have an ant logo. So we know that she is an Ant-Man character. So this is going to actually make a nice addition to my... I'm adding her to my Avengers shelf. So I am happy about this one. I'm glad I finally can add her. And Ant-Man. I wish I brought him. You know what? Give me a second. I'm going to go grab him. Alright, so I went to go get Ant-Man, and a couple things happened. So my light ended up dying, so I had to wait a little bit for it to charge. In the meantime, I will show off Ant-Man in a second. But speaking of ants, since I had some downtime to let the camera, the light charge, I created the protective case for Inferno. So just going to show it off real quick. It's a little lower here than I would have liked. I would have liked it more flush with the cardboard, but it's sunk a little bit. You can see some of the tape back there. Not a great tape job because it's all inside, so people aren't going to see it, but you can kind of see it if you look in the back there. I was hoping for an easier way to do it, but I had to open the whole thing and then put the plastic. I used a WWE Elite figure that I had, cut out the plastic, cut it perfectly so everything's covered. I don't want any dust or any bugs or any shit getting in, so it turned out well. So just showed that. Also, I finished reading this book. I only had the 6th chapter, finally read the last one, and a decent little read. Because I knew that Riddler was supposed to be in it, I was kind of always hoping that he would show up, but unfortunately he doesn't. But as a whole, I would say it's a decent little sequel to Batman Returns and the Tim Burton Batman universe. But I would have liked to see Riddler in that as well. But I did find it went on a little too long. Instead of 6 issues, maybe they could have cut it down to 5, in my opinion. Anyways, just small little tangent there, but I did go and get my Ant-Man to compare. So here I have my Ant-Man and Stinger 2-pack. This was already in my collection, and now I will have the Wasp to go along with them. So the whole family is complete. And then last but not least, for Marvel Legends, we got one more pickup. And that was a 2-pack that came out somewhat late last year. I've actually been looking on Amazon, just kind of checking out if there's any sales going on or anything. And I've seen this 2-pack actually go on sale quite a bit. So if you're interested in picking this up at the moment, you could probably get it for a good price. To be honest, I was kind of debating about it because I do get another version of this character. I don't believe it was the last episode. I believe it was the episode before that. We got another version of this Marvel Legends character, and this will be the third one in my collection. And I got it, so, you know, it's whatever, because I don't think we're going to get a single release of the other character, but it is the somewhat newly released 2-pack Marvel Legends, the King in Black, Marvel's Null, and Venom. When I first saw this 2-pack, I thought it was really cool. I really like how the Venom looks with the wings, and Null is just a cool character as well. I've followed the story a little bit where he's basically the king of all the symbiotes. He's the creator of all of them. There was this big war. It was a whole Marvel event. I believe Avengers got involved too. But basically, there was also a dragon, a symbiote dragon, but eventually Venom, I believe, defeats Null. I know it was a pretty epic story that went on for quite a bit, so that was really cool. They cemented its legacy by turning it into a 2-pack of figures. So we're going to show the box off real quick, and we're going to be opening it because it is plastic-free packaging, so we got to make sure everything in the contents in the box are good. So just a nice shot of the front, King in Black. That's actually the name of the issue, or the story, if you're interested in reading it. There's Venom and Null. On top, this is part of the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man. On the side, this is how I have it displayed in my collection. Comic-style accurate version of them. Bottom's got some boring stuff. I do like the Spider-Man face. I've seen it was on something else I bought. I think it was the Martin Lee 2-pack. Or no, it was the Spider-Man 2-pack that we got. And on the back here are all the accessories. So here we have Venom. They're not including the wings. I guess the wings are just supposed to be a part of the character. I know they are removable, which is pretty cool. But we get an extra pair of hands, a smiling face for Venom. And for Null, we get a very disgusting looking face. And we get a very sexy, handsome Squidward-like face. There it is on the box. Obviously, we will see what it looks like in person, but not too many accessories for him. Obviously, he comes with a sword as well, but it doesn't look like he comes with any hands. He probably does. I would assume so. It's a very heavy 2-pack, so without further ado, let's get this bad boy open. But before that, let's check to make sure it's never been opened. It hasn't, but, you know, I like to verify that on the video. It's completely sealed. I believe the only other option to open it is on this side. And it's sealed. We're actually going to be opening on this side because I have this displayed, so I don't want to cut here. So I've got my trusty envelope cutter. I'm going to make a little incision here. But like I said, I was kind of debating getting this. I mean, I did want to get it because Null is just, he seems like a really cool character. But like I said, this will be my third Venom. And for those of you, this might be your first video, I only like to collect one of each character. And we got a Venom, like I said, I don't know if it was the last video or the video before that. Oh, there's another piece of tape here. We just got a Venom in the, I forgot what the pack was called, but the one that came with Agony and Riot to complete the Life Foundation. I got another Venom there. That's a nice Venom. I do like this one, or the one that came with it. But this one looks pretty cool too. I already see a tear in the bag. That is not me. I see Venom's feet sticking out over there. And Null's feet there. We do got some boring instructions. Obviously, don't eat the pieces. They're not healthy for you. In the bag, we got the sword. And that's the only thing in the bag. I threw the instructions back in there. Okay, so this is not attached. So we have a nice little backing here. Put that to the side. And here we have everything. Obviously, we're going to open it up and show it, but just showing it individually. So first we got the sword. Nice little cool symbiote sword. I like it. Feels very gooey too. I like that. Each wing comes individually packaged. How does this work? We got a little peg there, a little hole there. Do the math. Boom. So this actually has a pretty big wingspan here. We'll compare it to the figures, but you can... Oh, I was going to say you can kind of retract them. But it looks like that's as far as it can be retracted, and then it can go... Okay, it comes out very easily. That's wing 1. Even though we know what this other wing will look like, we'll just check it out. Here's a wing number 2, and we already know what to do. See a little bit of paint here. It should be black, but it's got red paint on the back. And we can see the pegs that insert into the back. You can either have them like this, or... Holy shit, those are tight. Maybe they're not supposed to move. They look like they move. I feel it moving, but I don't know if it's... Okay, holy shit, that... My thumb hurts. Okay, that's a bit of a bitch. I might have to break in the other one. Yep, other one is just... Oh no, that one... Maybe because I knew the right amount of pressure to apply. Okay, we're good. Wings are good. Oh yeah, we got more baggies. Sorry, hold on. Baggie number 1, we've got Null's sexy head. There he is, very handsome looking. The hair is flowing. Beautiful. Nice, nice. Put that to the side. Second baggie, we've got Venom head. This is the smiling head. Let me move this, because I think that's what's focusing on the camera. There we go. Nice little Venom head. Just him smiling. There we go. And it looks like Null does not get any hands whatsoever, so the last baggie that had the Venom head also has the Venom hands, 2 fisted hands. As you can see here, nothing for Null. He gets nothing, just the head and the sword. Who are we gonna open first? Let's go Venom first, because we already have gotten a Venom before. So the bags that it comes with does not cover the figure entirely. As we can see, the legs are sticking out. No, you could. I don't know why they didn't, though. Oh, you know why? To have the legs sit in the in this portion. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. It's a nice Venom. Very big. I wish I could compare him to the Life Foundation one, but then I'd have to unpack the whole thing, and I'd have to look at the agony again, and I would be in agony. If you didn't watch that episode, go watch that episode. We had a close call with a figure. It was the last one or the one before that? I think it was the one before that. But just testing out all the joints here. Looks good. I like how he looks. Very tall figure. We'll compare one of the wings to him. So here's one of the wings retracted. A little bit bigger than him. Let's try him with the head. Let's pop this off first. Okay, nice and easy. Pop this on. Not so easy. Holy shit.
20 minutes later.
Okay, I tried, and it's not even going in just a little bit. It hasn't even, like, punctured the... Oh, well, there it is. Has gone... Oh, maybe we're getting it. No. This is hard. This is hard to get in. Let's try the other one again. This is the base head. Okay, that one popped in, no problem. Smiling head again. This needs to be warmed up. Like, it's not even going in a little bit. Not at all. Hopefully Null's is not like that. Let's try the wings on him. So on the back, we got the 2 holes where they go in. And again, you don't have to have them. But if you want Venom to be the king in black, king of the symbiotes, whatever you want to call him. Why is everything so fucking hard to put in? Jesus. It should just be a fucking click. Fucking killing my fingers trying to do this. Alright, so the wings don't want to go in either. I've got it in a little bit, but my god, my thumb is red from trying to fucking squeeze this thing in. It hasn't clicked. It's still sitting outside. But yeah, it is tough as shit. And I tried both wings, and both of them are equally pain in the ass. And there he is with the fully extended wing. I like that a lot, to be honest. There it is, retracted. I don't know why, but the joints are so tough to get in. You know what? Let's try his hands. Fuck it. I never try the hands, but let's see how fucking tough these bad boys are. So I took out his claw hands. We're putting in the fisted hands. Easy, no problem. Maybe get it on the right hand. That helps. Yep, no problem. No issues. Clicked in as supposed to. Boom. There they are. Fisted hands. Yeah, but the wings and the head, no go. No go at all. Holy shit. They were tough. So we're going to put Venom aside, and we're going to take a look at Null. Here he is. Also a very tall figure. I'm curious to see if he can wear the wings as well. Actually, let's look at that first. Let's see the back. I'm going to say, yeah, he can. Well, maybe with the hair, no. Maybe no. I'm feeling it, actually. No on the wings. Yeah, after I saw the hair, I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. The shoulder pads are soft, so you can have the articulation there. But let's take a look at this gruesome-looking face. This actually reminds me, when I was a kid, there was a show called Are You Afraid of the Dark? One of the episodes, there was this vampire in a hospital. Not exactly like this, but the eyes, and I think he had the exact same teeth. I'll throw up a picture.
We're gonna go upstairs.
I don't think so. We haven't been properly introduced yet.
God, that thing gave me nightmares as a kid. This thing will give me nightmares as an adult. So he's also got more armor here. It does restrict a little bit the abdomen, but it is soft enough to bend, but it does get caught up in the belt. But yeah, he looks cool. I like him. Actually, first thing I want to do, I want to try popping off the head. Let's see if the head's a fucking nightmare like Venom. Okay, boom, easy. Let's put on his sexy head. It's in there, but I didn't hear a click. Here he is, handsome Null. Looking very attractive. Now let's try his sword in his hand. I'm very surprised he did not come with an extra set of hands. That really surprised me. Fits well. Doesn't move too much. It's pretty stuck in there. Here he is. Look at this warrior badass. Compare him with Venom. I don't know if these guys are going to stand on their own. There he is, Sir Knight of the Symbiotes. So they're pretty in scale. I would say they are... I just set them up and now I'm going to fucking take them off. Null is a little bit bigger. That's them toe-to-toe. The Venom looks cool, even though I wasn't as excited for him as I was the other figures. Same with the Life Foundation 3-pack. Venom was probably my favorite there. I do like this version of Venom. I am interested to see if you can put on like the Eddie Brock head. But if I can't get this head on, I don't know if the Eddie Brock head will go on. But when I think of Venom, I think he should be this size. He's bigger than a 6-inch figure. Not muscular, but in terms of stature, yeah, I think he should be super tall. And Null, I actually like quite a bit. I don't know which head I like more. Maybe sexy head? Like this one just reminds me too much of my childhood. It's nice, but it's kind of creeping me out. Where this one, he looks like a warrior. You know, he looks like a knight that's just fighting for his symbiote kingdom. Like, have him looking off in the sunset, kind of setting his symbiote sword resting on his shoulder, waiting for his symbiote dragon to come and whisk him away. This makes me actually want to read the comic. If I get an opportunity, I'm going to see if I can get the King in Black comic. If you're like me, you know, you're like, oh man, you know, I only want one Venom. Should I go Life Foundation 3-pack Venom, or should I go I knew that, and yeah, I'm gonna take him too. So as I was saying, if you're like me, where you're like, oh man, I only want one Venom, which one should I go with? I personally, I like when have the option to switch the head to like a civilian head. Like not for all characters. Like if I have a Shocker figure, I don't want a civilian head of Shocker. I'm fine with him just having his mask on. But for a character like Eddie Brock or Venom, Spider-Man, Iron Man, who we see their face quite a bit along with the mask, I like having the option to kind of switch between. So I would probably go Life Foundation, but I do really like this Venom as well, and I do like Null as well. He looks really cool. Just adds to my whole symbiote collection, because now I got the whole complete Life Foundation. I got Venom, I got Carnage, I got Toxin, I got Red Goblin, who's kind of a symbiote, the Carnage symbiote, but he's combined with Norman Osborn. Anyways, I digress. I actually like this 2-pack, and like I said, right now you can find it for a pretty good price. The 2-pack Marvel Legends are quite expensive, so if you look on Amazon right now, you can probably pick this up for not full price. I don't know if it's probably the price that you want to pay, but any price that's not full price is a good price for me. Alright, next we're going to be jumping into Power Rangers Lightning Collection, and picked up a few goodies here. If you've been watching the past few episodes, I've been doing this thing where I bought another one of them. It was a great price on Amazon. Like on Amazon, it was like 80 or 90 bucks, like really, really expensive, and they dropped it over 50%. It was like close to 65%. So I was like, oh my god, that is a fucking steal. I need to pick this up. And I believe this is an Amazon exclusive as well, so if you are interested in checking it out, you can only buy it there. But the 2-pack I am talking about is the 2-pack of Ecliptor and Astronema, the Power Rangers in Space villains. Nice little 2-pack. Like I said, this is the second one that I'm buying. So before I had my figures like this, I will show off pictures of my collection before and after, but for 2-packs like this, I had this one displayed. And this is actually a bigger 2-pack because Ecliptor is a bigger figure. But now I have them sided. So I got Astronema on one side and Ecliptor on the other, and I'm going to pop up pictures of what it looked like before and what it looks like after. And you can see Astronema and the In-Space Red Ranger Andros kind of side by side. I like that a lot. Obviously, they have a lot of history. She's the main villain, he's the main hero, and there's more to their backstory. I was going to say no spoiler, but they're brother and sister. You'll find that out in the series. It looks cool. I like the way it looks now, and it definitely saves me a lot more space in my collection because I also have some additions we'll show after. So like I said, this isn't an exactly a new addition to my collection. It is just a way for me to kind of display it better, because I do like the box art and stuff, and we'll be talking about that in a second. We'll show this off real quick, since it's not really new, but here is Ecliptor and Astronema, two of the main villains from In Space. A lot of lightning effects in there. Hands for Ecliptor, his sword. He's got a lightning hand that goes there, and Astronema with her boomerang weapon, her staff, and some electric effects. So we'll show it off real quick. I already showed off the sides. There's the top. There's the bottom, and I actually marked it here too, so I know that this was the second one that I bought. I don't know why, but for some reason I'm like, you know what? I want to know which one I bought first and which one I bought second, so this is the second one that I bought. And then here's a nice shot of them on the back with all their effects. Oh my god, I didn't even notice how many effects they come with. Effects for her, effects in the hands, effects for the sword, and just fucking random lightning everywhere. The first two things that I'm adding that are new are part of Wave 12, I believe. And that is Dino Thunder Yellow and Lost Galaxy Green. I'm just displaying them together first, but we're going to break down each one. So this is half of Wave 12. I still need to get Wild Force Blue. Haven't picked him up yet. And then there's also Mighty Morphin Black, who I'm not too interested in because I already have a Mighty Morphin Black Ranger, and I'm not too interested in picking up the one with the Atom Head. And unfortunately, this is the last wave that comes in this box art style, similar to Ecliptor and Astronema. I was going to pull out the box again, but there's no purpose to it. I'm going to miss this a lot. It's going to be hard to, especially for like Lost Galaxy, not too much Dino Thunder. We'll talk about Lost Galaxy first. This is the fourth member of the team to come out. We still have the yellow and pink ranger to come out to complete the team. So we already have red, blue, and the Magnet Defender, and this will be the 4th edition. And the first 4 rangers are all going to look good together, but the last 2 are not going to match with the other 2 box art style. So that's unfortunate. Unlike with Dino Thunder, with Kira here, Dino Thunder only has 5 rangers in the main part of the team, where Lost Galaxy has 6, and we've already received 4 out of the 5. We're just waiting on the Black Ranger, who's going to be coming out in Wave 14, and that should be coming out late May, early June, around there. So yeah, anyways, we'll talk more about her after. But here we have Lost Galaxy Green. I always loved the Green Rangers as a kid, ever since I saw Tommy become the Green Ranger and with the dragon shield and shit. I was really like, wow, Green Rangers are so fucking cool, you know? And this one was no exception. I really liked Damon, that's the character's name, when he became the Lost Galaxy Green Ranger. I thought he was a fun character, and plus he had my favorite color, so that was pretty fun. And yeah, I'm finally happy to have this. I had the original, I had the whole team complete. I bought, I was super young at the time. My aunt ended up buying me a 6-pack of the Lost Galaxy team. Unfortunately, they were very limited in what they could do because they came with like this weapon. I'll see if I can find a picture of what it looked like, but each of the Rangers came with a weapon and their arms were kind of stuck because they had to hold a weapon. It kind of sucked, but you know, having this now, is just super cool. You know, he's all articulated, detail looks great. We even get the human head version of him, and that's a great likeness. It looks exactly like him. Couple issues with it. My first one, actually, you know what? Let's show off the box and then we'll talk about the issues. So there he is. So we get the saber fully extended, and then in the holster mode, which we can put right there. And he also comes with one of his weapons here. I don't remember what that's called, but it's like a, oh, they don't have it displayed on the back, whatever. It's another weapon. It's like a gun thing. This blast effect piece is actually for the weapon. So, and he also comes with an extra set of hands in there. Your typical Lightning Collection stuff. So there he is. There's the front. There's the side. This is how I will have him displayed. Nice shot of him on the back. Half his helmet here. The other half here. Top is green. And the bottom has boring stuff. Okay, so negatives. Do have a couple negatives. One, the shade of green. It doesn't match. I only brought one Green Ranger to kind of compare. But all the other Green Rangers have this shade of green. But like, he has more of like a, I don't even know how you would, what kind of green you would say, but it's a more muted green. Where this, I would say, is like an emerald green. And I wish they went this shade of green on him. Yeah, just comparing the two, he just looks kind of pale. That kind of upsets me a little bit, the shade of green that they used. I don't know why they did it, whatever reason. But it is a different shade of green from another Green Ranger. The other issue I have is the box, specifically this way. I would say like 95% of my collection is displayed like this. So like I said, I do have the other members of the team. This is the only new addition. The other members of the team I'm about to show were already part of my collection. So we're going to show them off here. So here's Leo, here's Kai, and here is Mike. Unfortunately, Mike does not come with civilian head, so we'll just call him Magnet Defender, but I might refer to him as Mike. So here it is. So this is what my collection looks like now. So we'll take out Green Ranger for a second. Here's what it looks like, right? Everything looks absolutely incredible. They all kind of go together until we add the Green Ranger. So we're going to make space here between Mike and Kai. We're going to add the Green Ranger, and something here is not like the others. For some reason, they like really zoomed in on the face compared to the other ones. So now it doesn't even match at all with the other ones. And then on top of that, once I get yellow and pink, it's going to be in a different box art style. It's going to be in the plastic-free packaging one, and for that, they're doing a completely different art style from these ones. So this collection just kind of all over the place. So when I first noticed this, I'm like, oh my god, that sucks. They had this perfect. Like, look, let's take them out again. Look, oh my god, red, blue, black, they all match, right? And then we add green. And for some reason, they zoomed in. Why not zoom out? Why not make it all match? It just really fucking annoys me a lot because this is how I have it displayed. And now it's not even, it doesn't go together. It's annoying. But the figure's still cool. But the shade of green and the box, very unfortunate. I'll kind of display the whole team together so far. So like I said, Pink should be coming out in Wave 14, which will be out around late May, early June, like I previously mentioned. And then Yellow's been leaked. There's been promotional shots of it and everything, her in box, but she has not been announced or revealed for anything. But we do talk about that on the last episode in the news section, so if you're interested, I go a little more in depth there. So really cool to get another addition to Lost Galaxy. It just sucks that the shading of green on him and the boxes don't go together. Sucks. And then the other person in the wave who we were talking about before, Dino Thunder Yellow, Kira. I don't really have too many complaints. I do, is her face. When I was looking at promotional pictures of this, the figure, I'm like, man, that's actually a decent face sculpt. But when I have it in hand, I don't like it as much. Like, I can see it, but for some reason, when I was looking at pictures of her, I just thought it looked a lot better. But it is pretty accurate to what she actually looked like, especially the hair. The face, I don't know. It just missed its mark, in my opinion. But that happens from time to time. But overall, I think the figure looks good. I don't have any complaints with it. She comes with her weapons here. I forgot what they're called. Daggers of some sort. I do have one issue. Actually, I'll bring it up now. Her little gun blaster thing here. We have other members of her team. We've got Red and we've got Blue. And for some reason, actually, I think they all have different shades of guns. Red has the lightest. His little gun here has the lightest blue. He also comes with a sword. For some reason, they didn't package her with a sword, but Blue has the sword and gun, and Red has the sword and gun. But yeah, the shading on this Blue is just completely off. So like here, it's... Actually, I'm even noticing something else here in a second. So here it's like super light. With Blue, it gets a little dark. It might be my eyes playing tricks on me because there's so much other blue, but it looks darker than this one. And then you have this one. It's just super dark. It doesn't match at all. Also, the paint job on it is completely, I would say, better, more detailed than the other ones. You see the black, the silver trim on the handle, some more silver detailing that's not here. The gold tip on this blaster. On here it's silver. Yeah, with this one the tip is blue. This one's gold. So there's like not a lot of consistency in the weapons, which is super unfortunate. And there's also some inconsistency on the designs as well. One that I can mention is, for example, the Red Ranger. He's got no color. The color is supposed to be gold here. The Blue and Yellow Ranger have it, but the White Ranger... the Red Ranger does not. But one thing the Red Ranger has that the other Rangers don't is for some reason they painted the little white thing on the back of his hands, and then on Yellow they are not painted, and the same with Blue. They are not painted. So just some really weird inconsistencies with the figure. Blue and Red are not new additions. It's only Yellow here, but just something I noticed. But other than that, comes with her weapons, comes with the blast effect for the gun, a couple extra hands here, and we'll just show off the box. There she is. Side shot, that's how I'm going to display her, and we'll talk about the size in a second. The side in a second. There is a shot of her on the back using all her weapons. Another shot of her mask, her helmets. Top is yellow. Bottom is boring shit. So this Yellow Ranger and the Green Ranger we showed off previously are both from the same wave. Now with blue and red, they came out in previous waves. This was wave 7, and this I believe is wave 8. And then we also have the White Ranger, who I wasn't showing him off because his inconsistencies don't really match as well. Actually, something along with them. It's the back of his hand design should be colored black, the little diamond, but he doesn't have it painted, and he doesn't come with the gun or saber like the other guys do, so that's why I wasn't really comparing him in the stuff. This one is not as bad compared to Lost Galaxy. Like, I can kind of live with this. I do wish they zoomed out, but for some reason, this actually ends up better than, what we saw with Lost Galaxy, where... Actually, I'm going to see if I can display all of them together. I mean, I guess technically it's not too bad. This one's like super zoomed out compared to these. They're not really zoomed out like these guys. So it's not as bad, but from this to these two, it's pretty noticeable. We only need one more addition for this to complete the team. That's the Black Ranger coming out in Wave 14. Actually, Wave 14 has additions to both these teams. Black Ranger for them and Pink Ranger for Lost Galaxy. So pretty cool. Happy about that. We're going to be finishing out Dino Thunder here this year. We'll be finishing some other teams as well. Lost Galaxy will definitely be done this year. Just don't know when. But this team will be finished before this team. 2 seasons I watched the shit out of as a kid. I would say I watched Dino Thunder more than I watched Lost Galaxy. Lost Galaxy I don't really remember too much about. There's bits and pieces that kind of stick out in my head. Dino Thunder I remember quite a bit about. Especially like Tommy returning to be a ranger, and he ends up being the Black Ranger, and he's a teacher, and... This was really cool. I really like Dino Thunder. But I really like Lost Galaxy too. The whole Magna Defender story. Leo, who was supposed to die, and then Mike sacrifices his life for Leo. I was very invested. I love Power Rangers. One of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. And as you can tell by the collection, still quite a big fan. Wrapping up here with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, we do have one more edition, and I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm glad they're finally starting to pump out people for this team, because it is one of my favorite seasons, and the figure that I'm talking about is the somewhat newly released Power Rangers Lightning Collection deluxe figure. We have Time Force Blue and the Vector Cycle. Really cool. This is the 3rd time that they've done a vehicle. So it's nice to see that they're doing vehicles, but it's really weird because when you do it for like one figure, it's like, do you plan on doing it for the rest of the figures? Like, are we going to get a Green Ranger with a bike, a Yellow Ranger, Pink Ranger? It just seems really weird when they do it for one Ranger, but... the Lightning Collection is still pretty young, so we'll have to wait to see. Right now, we only have the Red Ranger right here, who is already part of my collection, but we'll talk about him in a second, because there is something I do want to bring up. So, we're going to show off the figure, and then we're going to open it up because it is in the plastic-free packaging. So we got to make sure everything is in there, but we'll just take a look at the box real quick. There he is. Again, this plastic-free packaging, so we don't know what it looks like. I mean, this is what it's supposed to look like, but no window to see. We got a nice little shot of him there, him on the bike with his weapons in hand, and it also comes with guns on the motorcycle, which is really cool. We've got boring stuff on the bottom, a little shot on the side, Time Force Blue Ranger and Vector Cycle. On the other side, this is actually how I have it displayed in my collection. I have it like this, and I have the Red Ranger here. Unfortunately, like I said, different art styles with the plastic-free packaging, so they don't really match, but they still look cool together, and I'm happy about that. Well, again, we'll talk about him in a second, just showing that off real quick. On the back, there's everything that we get. We get the human head. His name, I believe, is Lucas. Pretty sure about that. But that's how the bike looks. Another shot of him on the bike. And on top, just Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So just before we get into the figure, I do have a slight issue with the box. It was pointed out to me, I can't unsee it, and it kind of annoys me. And with Time Force, everyone has a shape. The corresponding shape on their helmet also matches the chest piece. And you can see that here, where Wes has a triangular shape on his helmet and also on the chest piece. I was trying to display it more on the side because, that's what we see. But you can see it here on the figure, triangle kind of pointing down, same with the chest. And with the Blue Ranger, if you see here, he's got a somewhat similar design, but his kind of angles out here. I know it's like a really minute detail, but instead of it actually being an arrow, it kind of curves at the corner there and then goes down. You can kind of see on the helmet where it's not completely an arrow going down, unlike Wes here. But on the box, they actually fucked up, and if you look here, the chest piece does not match the visor, which is pretty annoying. This is actually the same triangular design as the Red Ranger. So after someone pointed it out, I just cannot stop looking at it, and it just annoys me. I'm like, how do you fuck that up? I know it's a little design, and honestly it shouldn't irk me, but because I have it displayed like this, it's even more prominent to look at. So it's a really annoying thing. For some people, they're not going to mind. And honestly, there are times where the Lightning Collection has little inconsistencies and it doesn't bother me. We're just going to show off that the figure is taped. There are little inconsistencies that happen actually quite often compared to how often it happens is actually kind of disgusting. It's almost like there's no quality control. But this one, you know, it just kind of slipped through and it annoys me. I hate it a lot, to be honest. What are you going to do? But now we are going to open up the figure. And let's take a look at this bad boy. We've got nothing in the box. Put that to the side. Here we've got, I was really expecting a lot more baggies, but we have this. Everything is nicely tied up. Honestly, when I open the Power Rangers Lightning Collection stuff, that's plastic-free packaging, and I'm like, man, Marvel Legends really just kind of jams everything in the box. But unlike Marvel Legends, I do like how Power Rangers packages their stuff. Obviously, the blue inside matches with the Blue Ranger, and I like the little twist ties. That's really nice to keep it all in the compartments. It's nice. But their quality control is a little dicey. So it looks like we only get... Okay, so everything is in here. This is the Blue Ranger, as you can tell, because it's a more bulky bag. And how am I going to open this without tearing it open? Okay, here we go. I kind of unfolded it. Hopefully we can fold it back in. But now it's... Oh, I'm going to have to, like, cut this for it to open up. Okay. It doesn't look like I fucked up the box. We'll see when I have to put everything back together. But, also, one thing I like and I hate it, the tape. Because I feel like I have a higher chance of ruining the bag with the tape on. But this is the bike. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let me unpack everything. In bag number 1, we've got quite a full package here. My God, we got the Ranger, his helmet, his weapons, the guns. Let's take everything out. Actually, I'll just dump it. And then I guess I might as well unbag the motorcycle. Oh man, it's already breaking through. This is snug in there. I'm gonna have to rip the bag. I can't get this out without oh my God. Okay, I don't know how they got it in the bag, but I could not get out of the bag unharmed, unfortunately. But here's the bike. We'll do the bike last because we got to put it together. There are some pieces. Let's talk about our Blue Ranger here, Lucas. He's got a little... Actually, I think that's a mole. Yeah, I believe that's a mole. Coming with the civilian head on first, which I was kind of shocked about. I thought for sure the Ranger head would have been on. Now, I want to be careful because I've seen a lot of people just posting about Lightning Collection having tons and tons of issues. Okay, this one has drop-down hips because for him to ride the motorcycle, it's pretty cool, but it just looks kind of weird. See if I can put him up. Okay, it's not bad. Head scan looks good. I would say it looks pretty similar to the actor. But anyways, what I was saying is I've seen a lot of people lately with the newer Power Rangers Lightning Collection stuff that's been coming out. Just the figures are just falling apart. And I know some people had issues with this figure. I saw one guy, I didn't see like the whole post, but I just saw this Blue Ranger, the like back came off and it was just in pieces on the floor. And I think some people's foot have snapped off. And this one I'm feeling a little dangerous about. You can see like the plastic's already like... Oh. Okay, hold on. I kind of worked it in. But you can see it's... Yeah, I don't think this plastic should be here because it's kind of limiting the articulation. Okay, I don't want to mess with this too much because I don't want this thing to just snap on me. But I'm just testing out the joints. The joints feel fine. I'm going to try on his helmet. Yeah, we'll put on his helmet first. Actually, you know what? Let's just show everything in the box. Okay, so we got Blue Ranger. I don't know if he will stand. Oh, he's actually standing perfect. In the box, we've got 2 guns for the motorcycle. And we also have this little handlebar, which looks pretty cool. Little gauge there. Let me put down the guns. Actually, let me show off one of the guns. Show you what it looks like. There it is. That's his shape. See, where Red Ranger... Actually, is this off or is it supposed to be like that? I guess maybe it's supposed to be like that. But with Red Ranger, it's just a straight arrow down, just like a triangle upside down. Where Blue Ranger, it goes whoop, boom, and then goes down. So... it's a minute difference, but that's a symbol. So here it is. Those are the guns. Showed off the handlebar. And we'll be putting that on in a second. And we've got this little cover for the motorcycle as well. And then there's his shape again. As far as the weapons, we've got his weapons here. This one is a little bent out of shape because they just shoved everything in a box. So... that is unfortunate. This one's a little bent, but not as bad compared as this one. And these are the weapons that he holds in hand, and you can actually combine them. There's a little peg on the bottom, and they combine into one crooked thing. So you can have it in a full kind of spear like this, or you can break it apart and have 2 individual kind of swords. Pretty cool. I don't know why this one has a little blue mark here and this one's painted blue up here. Not sure if that's accurate to the show. Not completely sure on that. And then as far as his accessories go, we've got hands. We've got 2 fisted hands. There they are. That's another thing I was kind of looking at. Is it the same hand? But no, we've got for both hands. And his helmet, which looks a little scuffed right there. Got some scuff marks on it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, it's kind of annoying, but it could be worse. Could be worse. And there it is. We're going to try popping on the Power Ranger head. Oh, this came off pretty easy. That was nice. Pop this on. This one, not so much. Okay, I want to take it easy with the neck joint. It is on, not fully down. It is in there, as you can see. It is sitting on the peg, but not by much. I would have to heat it up to really get it on. But there he is. We'll do a little combo look with the Red Ranger. There he is. They look good together. Unfortunately, my Red Ranger's like slouched in there, so it just looks kind of terrible. I don't know if everyone else is like that. A couple things that are missing. He doesn't get any blast effect pieces, which I'm fine with. That's really not a big deal for me. But he doesn't get his little gun like the Red Ranger has, but he does have the same, I believe it's called Chrono Saber, if I am correct. Been a while since I watched Time Force. But yeah, compared to the Red Ranger, his white looks so dinky. Like, if you look compared, and also it's misshapen. Or like, look, if you look at Red Ranger, his white goes down in a triangle as well. And then with him, his kind of like, I don't know if that's accurate. I would assume no, right? Like, it would be just straight white. I don't know. Looks weird. Oh, whatever. Now let's put together the motorcycle for our Blue Ranger friend here. So let's take a look at it first. Here it is looking pretty good. Again, this is the bare bones. We have not attached any of the attachments, but I think it looks pretty good. You got the little exhaust pipe there. Wheels move. Front one, back one. So you could use it to drive around, which is pretty cool. It also comes with a kickstand, so you can have it stand up if it wants to. And it does not. It wants to lean the other way. It can stand. There's not just the flattest of surfaces for it. So let's start by attaching everything. I don't know what should we attach first. Maybe the guns. We'll put the guns on first. I don't know if there's a right and wrong way to do this. Here we go. You can have in like a battle mode, or you can take them off, whichever one you like. If you like them to just drive around without the guns, you can take them off, but that's a pretty cool option. And we'll put on the handlebar first. So we just click it in, boom, a little piece here. And I was just kidding when I said click in. You really gotta press down, Jesus. All right, we got it in. Took some force, but it is in there, and now we've got his little cover. How is this gonna go? Just in the, okay, so there's some grooves here and here. We just pop them in. And is it gonna stay in? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. And here is the motorcycle. Looks pretty dope. I like it all put together. We'll also show it off without the guns. So if you just want to have him ride around in the motorcycle, looks good. I think I'd keep it with the guns because it just looks more badass. Like he's ready for war, ready for Rancic, who I would love a figure of. And Frax, I believe his name is, the robot. Actually, I want to see something. So I have the guns like this, but what if I flip it? Okay, that won't work. So there is a right way to put these in. Just wanted to clear that up in case anybody was wondering. There is a right way to put these in. Now let's set them up on the bike. Also, I like that they painted the details on the morpher. Nice little touch. Just noticed that as I was putting him on the bike. So as I'm putting him on the bike, his hands don't really open up too well to grip the handlebar, which is unfortunate. These are more for like his weapons. So I'm just going to kind of rest his hands on top like that. And I did put on his civilian head because I was trying to like lean his head back so he could look forward, but the helmet just ended up coming off. So there's not really like a good way to pose him. He doesn't sit well on the bike. I guess maybe like that, hunched over, kind of matching the Red Ranger. I feel like he's not supposed to actually ride it. I feel like there's no way to really get him in a good pose. He's just supposed to like look really cool beside it. And he does. He looks really cool. To have him properly on the bike and have his feet on the bottom here on the little grooves. Would they be pedals? I don't think they're pedals because I think they're just to hold his feet. I don't know. I've never rode a motorcycle. But I feel like that's about as good as it's going to get, which kind of looks a little goofy. So there's no real good pose to have him on the bike. So I just have him standing here with his helmet. Overall, I think the figure looks pretty good. There are a little couple inconsistencies with the Red Ranger. Hopefully me putting him here does not make him fall. Okay, perfect. But yeah, the little white trim on the chest not being as straight as the Red Ranger's, kind of unfortunate. The box art, like I showed earlier, that kind of sucks. But I would say the Figuarts stuff looks pretty good. Like I said, the head sculpt looks good. We had a little paint mishap with the lines. The bike is good. I like it. And overall, I think this is a pretty solid pickup. I really like this. I'm glad they're building out Time Force. And I cannot wait for them to continue to add more figures. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the next one on the list is Jen, the Pink Ranger. She was a badass and was pretty much the leader of the team. Really cool to see. Glad they're building out Time Force, and I am very happy with this figure. All right, last but not least, we are going to jump into my wrestling collection. Man, we've got quite a bit to show. We've got from all spectrums. We got WWE Elite figures. We got AEW Unrivaled. We've got customs, got a couple customs, and we've got something completely new. We're going to save that up a little bit for later. We're going to start out with AEW Unrivaled. I believe this is from Wave 9, and this is a character I've been wanting to get for a while, and I'm glad I finally can add him to my collection, and it is just coming off a big win on Dynamite in the face of the Revolution ladder match. We got Powerhouse Hobbs. This is a great looking figure. I really am a fan of this one. Just going to kind of put his arms to the side so we can show off the deco on his attire. So there we go, Powerhouse Hobbs, FTW. So this is when he was part of Team Taz. We got his big tattoo here. I love the face sculpt, especially with that little snarl look. It screams Hobbs to me. Just going to put Hobbs to the side for now. I'm just going to show off his accessories real quick. So it comes with 2 heads. This is just a very muted look, just a normal look of him. Maybe you see him at a Starbucks. This is probably what he'll look like. That's what he'll look like if you cut him in line, so don't do that. And he also comes with 2 fisted hands. These are untaped. As you can see, just regular bare bones hands. These are what comes with him in the box. And at first I kind of liked it, but then I put on these, I'll show what it came like. So it came with the non-taped hands in the box, and I was like, okay, that looks pretty good. And then once I put on the taped hands, I was like, dude, this is a whole nother beast. He looks like he's ready for a fight. So now I keep him with the taped fists. Look how much more menacing he is with the tape fist. He just looks like an absolute badass. I don't know if it's just me or does he look a little small. For me, his legs look a little weird. I don't know. They just look small and dinky. I think it might be the design of the boots that like is playing tricks on my eyes. Yeah, that was one thing I noticed. Like the legs just look kind of small, and him himself, because obviously he's a super big dude, super jacked. So maybe he could be a little more jacked. But I did compare him to like another buff guy, Wardlow, who's kind of comparable, and they were very similar. I think Wardlow was a little more jacked, definitely had a different torso from Powerhouse Hobbs. I should have brought him out, but I didn't think of that. Also, some deco on the boots. We've got Willpower. Kind of hard to see some of the letters because it's black on black, but you can kind of make it out. Willpower. So, really happy about this one. Happy to have this one in my collection. And again, just showing off the back. Him part of Team Taz. And really happy about this one. I really think this figure turned out good. Turned out well, whatever you want to say. Regular articulation for the AEW figures. Not so much in the torso. That's about as much as you get. But neck, fully. Arms. And again, just like, we'll actually pose him with the other head. So we saw the snarl version of him. Remember, this is if you cut him off in line at Starbucks. And this is him if you'd be like, oh shit, Powerhouse, shit, congratulations on your match on Dynamite. Big fan. This would be the Hobbs that you get, just a more natural look for him. But this is definitely the head to keep on him. We're going to jump into WWE Elite style figures. And the first one I'm going to show off is a figure I'm pretty excited about because I'm adding to my collection. I had an opportunity to get the original figure, which I believe was in wave 51 or 52, and we're on Elite wave 100 now, so it's been a while since he's gotten a figure. But this is in the recently released Legends line, and the figure I am talking about is the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. I really like this figure a lot. I also like that he comes with this title because, I showed off the last episode. I'm like, man, I never had this title. And I just got it in the 2-pack with Jeff Hardy and Triple H. Go watch the last episode if you've missed it. And then guess what? I get another opportunity to get this title with Mr. Shamrock here. So I'm happy to get another one. But I just think it's funny where I never had one of these, never did, WWE Elite style, and then I get one back to back, so that's just kind of funny. But here's a title, looks really good, but we are here for Mr. Shamrock, and he looks pretty awesome. Very similar to his other figure. Like I said, his other figure in the Elite line back in like 52 or 53, I believe what it was. He came in a red attire. He also came in a robe, where here he just comes with the title. He comes with 2 sets of hands. He comes with fisted hands, fisted like MMA boxing glove hands, and pointing hands. But I didn't bring them here with me because, they're just hands. So no other head sculpt. It's just this one here. Just kind of a look where he's like, I'm going to tear your ankle off. Very plain look for him, but that's exactly how it was. And if you do end up picking this figure, you also have an opportunity to get the Chase. He was the Chase in the Legends wave, where this is the normal one, where he comes in green. Or is this the regular? I think this is the normal one. And then the Chase is a dark blue. But I prefer the green. Obviously, Shamrock. And I don't have too many wrestling figures that are in green attires. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to get him in the green. And I just think it looks really good. He comes with the double jointed elbows. Unlike his first release, this is the new standard for Elite figures that they introduced in around Wave 80. So double jointed elbows, your regular WWE Elite style articulation, ab crunch, thigh swivel. There we go. Hip, knees, boot cut. It's got it all. So we're going to put Mr. Shamrock away for the time being, but we're going to keep this IC title out because the next two figures actually have won this belt specifically. And the first one we're going to show off is a figure. This is another one I had a bunch of opportunities to get the original. He's another one who... This is his second Elite ever. Actually, very similar to Shamrock. His first Elite came out, I believe, Elite 41, 42, around there. And I ended up not getting it then, and then they ended up releasing it way, way later in the Royal Rumble Elite wave. But the person I am talking about is the Samoan Bulldozer, Umaga. He looks really awesome. I have him on here with his little towel, but you can take this off. It's just a little accessory that comes in the box, and he comes in his red gear, where his first figure he comes with is in black gear, more of his debut look, and comes with all the tattoos, all the tribal stuff, Samoa on the belly. I think that's just flowers, more tribal tattoos, and the big back tattoo. And of course, if you forgot who this is, it is Umaga. And if you look again, Umaga there. And there is his face printed on the leg, and more tattoos on the feet. Unfortunately, this tattoo goes a little on the tape for his feet, but it's not that big of a deal, but it does look kind of dumb. And then more tribal tattoos on the legs. So this is really cool. I really like this figure. I think it turned out extremely well. It's got his braid look. Comes with a necklace. Good face scan for him. I'm actually a big fan of this, and he also comes with the Samoan spike hand. He also comes with another set of hands, so here he comes with Samoan spike hand, or just giving you a thumbs up, and then just kind of a gripping hand, and the other hands, I believe, are fisted hands. And like I said, he previously won the IC title. This is actually the only title that he won in WWE, and I believe he won it twice. There he is with the title, Umanga. I just want to keep calling him Umanga, even though I know it's completely wrong, but I just hear Regal in my head. Umanga! There he is. It's not really sitting well on him. And unfortunately, he is too big, so you can't wrap it around his waist. Looks good. I'm really happy about this one. This is a great addition to my WWE Elite collection. Happy to have him on board. A nice addition to the bloodline as well. If this is your first time watching, I try not to buy multiple versions of wrestlers. I just try and get one and done. But this is the one wrestler where it's like, you don't mind collecting a few of him because he has so many cool attires and so many cool masks. Hint, hint. And I am pretty excited to add this one to my collection. A brand new Rey Mysterio. This is part of the Ruthless Aggression line, which is exclusive to Walmart. And here he is. I love this gear. When I first saw this Rey Mysterio, I was like, this looks incredible. So this is based on the Ruthless Aggression figures that came out when Jakks Pacific was doing the WWE Elite or WWE figures, not Elite. Elite came with Mattel. So yeah, I remember when this figure came out and I was like, damn, that is such a cool Mysterio. The white gear looks super dope. And Mattel, they knocked it out of the park with this one. I really, really like this figure. I'm happy to have this one in my collection. But just like the Hulk Hogan NWO figure that, we talked about, I think it was in the November, December video, where it's like, man, I'm really looking forward to this figure. I'm very excited to have it. And I have one glaring issue. Like this one's actually pretty big. I was so upset when I opened this up to find it. And there's a reason I'm kind of angling his face to not show the other way, because that is where the issue is. And that is, we see his face, looks great, looks good, his mask. But on the other side, you can see that where the mask is like popping out here. So yeah, I don't know what happened in the factory. I don't even know why this is a separate piece. Come on, focus, please. I don't even know why that's a separate piece, but yeah, mine is like coming out here compared to the other side where it's like nice and flush. This side is just sticking out. It is such an eyesore. I hate it so much, and I was looking forward to this figure so badly, and it is kind of imperfect. So it really sucks. Like I said, it's just the biggest fucking eyesore. Maybe if it was on the back or something and I couldn't notice it, but it sticks out because it's supposed to have a nice, round head. Sticks out like a sore thumb. So that is really, really unfortunate. And like I said, I don't even know why this is attached. Why is it not just one piece? The head is a piece, and then I guess they put in the face as another piece. Really weird. Really, really weird. I'm really surprised it's just not one. But yeah, very, very unfortunate, especially for a figure I was really looking forward to. It's still a nice figure. I still really like the attire. It is really nice. I got a couple scuff marks on the butts and on the back of the leg. The one thing that sucks about having white attire, one, it's going to scuff like shit if it rubs against literally anything. And two, 10, 15 years down the line, the white will probably start to yellow too. So that is unfortunate, but yeah, this Rey, I think it still looks good. I just happened to get a bad batch because I looked at a couple people's reviews on YouTube. I looked at it, their head was fine. But me, I was unlucky in that sense, so very, very unfortunate. I do have a Rey Mysterio figure already, so this is the new one that I got, and this was the one in my collection. This is a nice Rey, pretty much an exact same, like they didn't change too much, just the tattoos, less tattoos on him because this was like early in his WWE career, and this was later where he's got the necklace and the wings and Mexican on him. But back tattoo, all the same. Tattoos on the arm, all the same. Other side, same. Yeah, this was my Rey Mysterio before. I don't really like the openness of the back of the mask. Whenever he started debuting these, I wasn't a fan. I mean, for him personally, it probably feels a lot better than the whole enclosed mask. So that's good for him, but for me, I like the whole mask around his head. But yeah, so this is my Rey Mysterio now, and now I have this one. And like I said, Rey Mysterio is a guy who's got tons and tons of figures. Even his new look now, which I'm not a fan of with the fur on the sides and stuff. When I think of Rey Mysterio, I think of him in these baggy pants, and now he's like in the singlet and stuff. Not my favorite Rey Mysterio look. This is what I think of when I think of Rey Mysterio. And this is just a really dope figure. And he's another one that won this IC title. So we'll just pose him with it. He's more known for the, around this time, winning the Cruiserweight title. But I was not able to grab. I have one. I just didn't go looking for it. One thing I really like about this, which is a nice callback to the old Jakks Pacific WWE figures, is back then all those figures, I would say almost every single one, came with an accessory, usually a weapon, and they actually did that with this figure as well, where the Mattel figures almost never come with weapons, which is really weird because, coming from Jakks Pacific figures where every figure gets a chair, garbage can, stop sign, whatever. We don't get any weapons with the Mattel figures, which I think is cool, but they've made up for it with like cool accessories, cool belts, like the type of detail they put in the belts with Mattel above and beyond what Jakks Pacific did. But they ended up packaging this Rey with a nice folding chair, so nice callback to the Jakks Pacific figures. And a nice little folding chair. Something I would like to see more. Maybe even a weapons pack like AEW did. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, nice little folding chair. We'll sit him down here. There's one more thing that he came with. He also comes with an extra set of hands, kind of open hands. Also comes with the textured gloves that he comes with, or that he wears. And this is more for, oh, he's going for the West Coast Pop, or West Coast Pop? I don't remember. He hit the 619 and then he hit the other move, the Hurricane Rana. So I would have liked some open hands. I think it's pretty weird where you have a chair and he comes with fisted hands and then like really open hands where he can't really grip the chair. Also, if you do put on the other hands, you can also take off these little gauntlets. But it just looks better with them on when you have the gloves. So he can kind of hold a chair with the open hands, but not as well as he could have if he had like the C gripping hands. Like, where is he? Kind of like Shamrock does here, where he's got the hand open and, you know, you can just easily fit in the chair and, you know, go to Slam Town on Mysterio. Boom! Out of here. Alright, enough about that Rey Mysterio. I could talk about that all day because I just really like that attire and that figure. And Rey's just a classic superstar who's had many awesome looks throughout the year. Like, he's one of the most toyetic, always has a really cool gear, whether it be like a color scheme or like a cool design, like that Daredevil costume that he wore at WrestleMania. He wore a Mysterio costume at WrestleMania. He's done a lot of cool, awesome stuff. So, a lot of cool Rey figures, but not a fan of the new stuff. This next figure is not an AEW figure or a WWE Elite figure. This comes from a completely separate company from that. And the company I'm talking about is Boss Fight Studios. For those of you who aren't aware, Boss Fight Studios, we've talked about them in the past few episodes of these figure videos in the news section mainly, because it was recently in the news that they have acquired the rights to produce wrestling figures for MLW, which is a wrestling company in the United States. And right now, Boss Fight Studios, they currently do some wrestling figures. They have their Legends of Lucha Libre figure. They have a basic line and an elite style line, similar to WWE Mattel. I bought their first wave, their first premium wave, and in that first premium wave, we've got Rey Fenix and we've got Pentagon Jr. here. And this figure is really cool. Really great detail. They did a killer job. This is not the one that I'm talking about. This will not be the edition. I'm just talking about the first wave. So the figure itself looks really good, but there is an issue with it. They are quite small. Here's Powerhouse Hobbs, for example, from AEW, and quite the size difference. That's probably a similar size difference to what they are in real life. But even with WWE Elite style figures, this might not be the best example yet because Rey is a smaller guy. They don't scale well, but they're really, really nice. Like the detail, the tattoos, the texture all over, the mask, like it just is a phenomenal figure. But it just doesn't scale well, especially if your collection is predominantly AEW or WWE Elite. So they are solid figures. So like I said, Wave 1 was Pentagon and Rey Fenix. I have the Rey Fenix, but I only brought the Pentagon. They're not the focus. They're just here to they're the intro into this next figure. I got Wave 1, and after I got Wave 1, I was like, oh, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to collect any more of their figures. And they've released a Wave 2, and they're currently working on a Wave 3, which hopefully Wave 3 and even the MLW figures hopefully scale better with the other wrestling companies, you know, mainly WWE and Mattel, or Mattel and Jazzwares for AEW. Their second wave, which had two figures. So the first wave, the Elite style premium Lucha Libre figure, was Pentagon and Phoenix. And then wave 2 was a lady I've never heard of called Lady Maravilla, I believe was her name. And the other one was this guy here who I really debated on getting. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up because it actually does look pretty cool. And the figure I am talking about is Wave 2 Legends of Lucha Libre Premium Conan. Yes, before we knew Conan is Orale, let me speak on this, and his run in WCW, he was a masked luchador. I don't know too much about Mexican wrestling, so what I say might be wrong, but I believe he used to work with a company called CMLL, which is a promotion in Mexico. And I believe he ended up leaving it and creating his own promotion, AAA, which is now probably the biggest promotion in Mexico specifically. It could be vice versa. And his hand just kind of came off. We'll talk about that in a second, because I do have some issues with this figure, but I was just kind of trying to bend the joints, but the whole thing came out. It's not broken, it just... maybe it is broken. Okay, I put it back in. So, yeah, I don't know if he was with CMML and then started AAA, or vice versa, if he was with AAA and then started CMLL. Like I said, my Mexican wrestling history is not as good as my North American wrestling history. But yeah, so I was debating. I'm like, God, do I want to get this figure? I know it's not going to scale well because this was in production similar to around the same time Wave 1 was, which was a Pentagon in Phoenix. So it was going to scale the same way. I think with Wave 3, we're going to start seeing some of the feedback where making them a little bit bigger. But yeah, I was really debating on getting this, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to grab it. And I got it for a pretty good price. I got it off a buddy of mine. Like I said, the guy that pre-arranged some figures for me at the toy show. This was one of them. And I have to say, it is a great looking figure. But just like the Pentagon, it does not scale well with your Mattels and your WWEs. So again, here's Powerhouse Hobbs. He gets towered over by Powerhouse Hobbs. And Conan isn't a small guy. He's actually quite large. If you go back and look at WCW matches, he was like a good-sized guy. Like, he's not really small enough to be a luchador. He would be considered a heavyweight, but here is Rey and Conan. And Conan is definitely bigger than Rey Mysterio, more than what is displayed here. So it's not the best in terms of scaling with other figures, but it is a pretty sweet figure. And honestly, I have a soft spot for luchadors and just wrestlers in masks and face paint because they just look so much cooler and different than, you know, a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs. Nothing against Powerhouse Hobbs, but he's kind of just a guy, where when you have a guy with a mask, I just think it adds so much to him, you know? Think of all the great masked wrestlers. And I'm not even talking about like luchadors. Kane, Luchasaurus is pretty cool. Mankind. And then with face paint, obviously you got Sting, Ultimate Warrior, the Road Warriors themselves. You have Jeff Hardy, but I don't consider Jeff Hardy like a face paint wrestler. That's something that he adopted later on. But he was a masked wrestler with the Will-O-the-Wisp. So I really like masked wrestlers. I like them a lot, and I ended up picking this up, and I do like this figure a lot. He does come with a bunch of accessories. In the box, we're going to put Conan. I don't know if he'll stand. Will you work with me, Conan? We'll go through his articulation here in a second, but in terms of hands, we've got these hands. He's got kind of an L-shaped hand, or he could be pointing to the sky, pointing at his opponent, something like that. You've got a West Coast hand. West Side, there it is. And I like the layers of tape that are sculpted on. Nice little detail. And then the other hands are pretty basic, just some fisted hands. Hold on, let me get rid of Conan because camera's focusing on him. So there they are, fisted hands. And on him I have the kind of C gripping hands. Like that. So there they are. And he also comes with another head, another mask. So here we've got a blue mask, which is pretty cool. Kind of got like a leopard design here. Cheetah, leopard. I think they both have spots. Kind of arms, family arms type thing. Mask is kind of basic. I personally prefer the other one. So I'm just going to show it off real quick and then we'll put it on the body. But here we have this mask, which is very intimidating. Unfortunately, it doesn't go with the gear that he has, where the gear is pink and blue, and the mask matches that. With this one, this is kind of a standalone mask, but it still looks really cool. So same similar design here. But looks awesome. And there's a little comparison between the two masks. Honestly, this mask reminds me a lot of Ultimo Dragon when I look at it. So that's why I have this one displayed, but this is how he comes in the box, so I kept this one on. But yeah, I keep seeing Ultimo Dragon. I'm like, oh yeah, oh wait, that's Conan. That's not Ultimo Dragon. So we're going to pop off the head. There we go. Little ball joint there. Let's pop it on. Didn't hear a click, but I felt it go in. And here he is with his other very intimidating mask. And it's just a cool figure. Like, I really, really like this mask a lot. So we'll go through his articulation. So he's got a head swivel. You can go up and down. Not too much, but enough. Arms, you've got the regular type joints, and you've also got the butterfly right there. Double jointed elbows, articulated wrists. You can also take this off if you want. If you want to take off the hands, you can also take off this piece and then just put on the hand itself, but it looks kind of goofy without the other wrist tape. And then we have the chest hair, which I think looks good. It's probably one of the better chest hairs I've seen on a wrestler. It actually looks like chest hair, you know? It looks how it would like naturally grow. So they actually did a great job with that. The legs are where I have a little bit of an issue with. So he's got some articulation, but when I try and do articulation with this leg in particular, it kind of pops out of the joint, as you can see here, where with this one, it sits well in there, but with this right one, it pops out, and actually, if I do go any further, the leg actually does come off. Now, I can put it back in. I will take it off, just a little joint there. There it is. Yeah, the left leg I have no issues with, but for the right leg, if I try and bring it up that much, it just starts to pop out, which is just pretty annoying. I'd like to just kind of articulate the figure however I would like to display him, without being like, oh shit, his fucking leg joint is popping out. So that's kind of an annoyance for me. I don't know if anyone else's figures like that, but just something for me. But he does have a lot of range and motion with the legs, quite a bit. So there it is, and you can see that it's kind of opening up there to come out, where the left leg, nothing. It's well secured in there, so that is unfortunate. And then the rest of you got double jointed knees, a little boot swivel, and an ankle pivot. So there he is. I think it's a solid figure, solid addition to your collection. Like I said, I love me some masked wrestlers, and I'll even compare him with the Pentagon, who, like I said, is in Wave 1. And we'll see how they stand. There they are. Pretty similar in height, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure how tall Pentagon is. The details are fantastic. The articulation's great. It's everything you'd want in a wrestling figure. It's just the size. If they could just a little bit bigger, just a little bit, like it's almost perfect. But we'll have to wait to see. Hopefully the MLW figures scale well with the other brands, and hopefully they make additions to Wave 3 of the Legends of Lucha Libre line. And I actually have the box here just to kind of show off, in case you've never seen this figure or this company. Here is the box. There we've got Conan right there. Nice little shot of him back in the days as a masked wrestler. Boss Fight Studios, that's the company that makes it. Legends of Lucha Libre, that's the line that it's called. Another shot of Conan there, looking absolutely ripped. So it does look very similar to him. Let me get the other head. So here we go, a little comparison. It looks good. Got no complaints with it. So on the back, we've got his stats here, his height, his weight, where he's from, debut 1987. He's actually been around for quite a bit. And his finishing move is a powerbomb, not the Tequila Sunrise. I think that was his WCW finisher, the submission. He also comes with a microphone. I don't know where I put it. I don't believe I brought it with me. But that is another accessory. It would be right here. So it'd be mask, microphone, two sets of hands, and then Conan himself sits there. And one thing I thought was pretty cool that I noticed after, but here is the other figures. So this is the lady I was talking about, Lady Maravilla. I'm not too familiar with her. But here we see Pentagon and Phoenix. But these aren't the Pentagon and Phoenix that I have. This is the Pentagon and Phoenix from Wave 1. And these are Pentagon and Phoenix figures that I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen them announced or talked about. I don't know if they canceled them because obviously Pentagon and Phoenix signed with AEW, so maybe they had to cease the rights. But I've never seen this version of Penta and Phoenix announced. But they look pretty cool. It basically just looks like a repaint. They don't look too bad. I do like the red and black look of this Pentagon and Phoenix. The Wave 1 Phoenix is it's like a red and gold look. But this is a pretty cool thing too. But I think these might have been canceled because, like I said, I've never heard them talk about it ever. Never announced and never canceled. So I guess they were primed for a Wave 2 edition, but did not make the cut, unfortunately. But AEW has put out a bunch of Wave Phoenix and Pentagon figures, and there's going to be some cool ones coming out soon with the Supreme Wave 3 of Pentagon and Phoenix. And there's the bottom. So there's all the things that are included in the box. So pretty cool. Really like this. Happy to see other companies producing wrestling figures. And it's just really awesome. It's really awesome to see. Really awesome to be a wrestling figure collector at the moment. And last but not least, for wrestling figures, I did get a couple of customs as well. The customs I'm going to show you are from two different people. I will talk about them individually. These were not figures that I ordered. These were figures that they were advertising on their Instagram page saying, hey, I'm selling off some of my customs. Are you interested? And both these people did. It's two separate people. And they both were advertising that they were selling some customs. I got in contact with both of them. And I bought two off one guy and one off another. And the first two that I got from the guy, I'm not too happy. But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's show them off first. I got two from this one guy. His name is Too Sweet Customs. I will put his link in the description, and you can go check him out. He also is selling some customs. So like I said, he was selling some before, and he's selling some more. And I actually have placed another order. So even though I'm not too happy with these ones, I am coming back for seconds. If these second ones don't turn out well, or what I consider well, I probably won't be buying any more from this guy, but I do like his customs. They do look good. He does make some good work. I don't know. We'll talk about them in a second, but I will link his Instagram in the comment section or in the description, and I will also link another post of his on Instagram that he's selling a couple customs. If you are interested and you want to place an order, you can reach out to him and be like, oh, hey, that looks really cool. You know, what's the price and what's the process? Feel free to contact him. So the customs that I got from him are, I got two of them, and the first one that we'll show off, this is a guy who used to wrestle quite actively in WWE, also used to wrestle in WCW, after that came to WWE, and didn't really do too much stuff in WWE on his first run. He was kind of just a background guy, ended up getting released, went and I don't know if he did Ring of Honor and TNA after he got released or before he joined WWE. I'm not too sure his timeline. Anyways, he ended up getting released, came back in I think 2007, came back with a different gimmick, and this is what this figure is based on. And the figure I'm talking about is Jimmy Wang Yang. Yes, here he is in the flesh, and the figure looks pretty good. But I do have some issues with it. So the figure looks good. Like I said, perfect body. This is what he would wear. He would wear jeans and a tank top. And he would have wrist tape similar to this. Sometimes it'd be white. Sometimes it'd be black. Sometimes one hand would be black. One hand would be white. He'd kind of change it up. The head is taken from a Ruthless Aggression figure from Jack's Pacific, who we talked about earlier with the Bloodhound from Apex Legends. So the thing I have some issues with, we'll get the issues out of the way first, is the paint is kind of, I don't want to say sloppy. I don't think he needed to paint the tank top, honestly, because this is based on a Dean Ambrose figure. And I have that Dean Ambrose figure. And look, exact same copy. The only thing he changed was the head, to be honest. But other than that, he actually, I think he changed the boots as well, because these boots are different from what Ambrose had. But yeah, jeans are the same. He put a little paint wash on it. It looks really cool. But I don't think you really needed to paint the tank top. I think this would have been fine, where this is kind of like a grayish, and this is obviously white. The paint's not the best, and honestly, one of the issues I had with it was it came with this vest, which is something that you'd wear, and it was like stuck on him. I had to like rip it off. So the I don't know if you put it on like right after he painted, he put on this vest. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, this was a little difficult to get off him. I don't know if I took any paints. Actually, probably here on the underarm. Right there, it's a little scuff, and as we can see, there's some paint here, so it probably did come off, but yeah, this was stuck to him. I ended up taking it off just because I didn't want to deal with that. And then in terms of articulation, I have a lot of issues with him where his legs don't really bend. Like, that's as far as his leg goes. Like, I feel if I pull any or pull up anymore, like, it's just going to snap, where if we look at the Dean Ambrose figure, easy, up, down, whatever I want to do. But with Jimmy, that is not the case. Yeah, this scares me. The left leg does go up a little bit, but the right one does not. Very stiff. And then the torso is very tight. I think that's from the paint. Also, I believe he opened it up, which I don't know why, because all he really had to do was pop on the head. The Ruthless Aggression figures, the Jakks Pacific ones, they fit easily on the ball joint of the Mattel ones, so I'm not sure why he cracked it open. He might have put the old ball joint from the Jakks Pacific figure. I'm not sure. I believe that's what he did, but yeah, he ended up putting it back together. As you can see, there's a crack there. That's as far as it's sealed in. But in terms of ab crunch, there's a little bit of... what's the word I'm looking for? Tension? There's something fighting me. It's not as smooth as, like I said, Ambrose. Look at that. Easy. So that's unfortunate, and I'm just kind of afraid to move it because I just feel like it's gonna fucking crack open and fall apart. But other than that, I think it's a pretty solid figure. It swivels at the waistline like a regular WWE Elite figure. The head does move. You can move it side to side, up and down. It can't move too far right, but left, that's as far as it goes. And like I said, he changed the boots to be more like cowboy boots, which is pretty nice. I think the figure looks good, but yeah, the articulation limits, I don't know why it's like that, especially this right leg here. Very annoying and scary, but I do like the jean wash compared to like Ambrose. The jean wash on the paint job that he did on the jeans here looks great. Really looks like a pair of jeans, so I like this one a lot. And then the other figure that I got from him, which I also had some issues with. This is another wrestler that is mostly known for his time in WWE. He also had a short stint in TNA, which everyone likes to meme on. But I actually enjoyed his stuff in WWE when he was kind of a singles wrestler, and then he ended up teaming up with JBL and was part of the cabinet when he was in his WWE run. And, you know, he won the U.S. title, I think once or twice, had some matches with Chris Benoit. And I think he had a good run. I enjoyed watching him at this time. And the person I am talking about is Orlando Jordan. This is a freaking deep cut, because I don't know how many people remember Orlando Jordan. But, yeah, this is a really cool looking figure. Now, there is a very noticeable thing that sticks out, especially if you're looking at this figure. The face does not match the skin tone, and I'll explain that in a second. So, this isn't the original head that came with the Orlando Jordan figure. The original head is right here, and it's a good-looking figure. It's got the same skin tone as the figure, and basically the same Orlando Jordan figure, but he did a paint job with it. Kind of updated it, painted the hair, put some brown in it, and painted it the new skin tone to match the body. And the reason I put on this head was very loose. It didn't even sit on the ball joint. As soon as I touched it, it would just fly off. So what I did was, instead of having that issue where it's just not even sitting down, I took my old Orlando Jordan Jack Specific figure. I went digging and looking for it. I found it. I popped off the head and I put it on. So that's why the head does not match the body, which is a little unfortunate, but what are you going to do? One issue I have with this figure, and I think it's just a very obscure choice to do, but, you know, that was his decision, is... So the figure looks good. We'll compare it on the tattoo. So this is a Jack-specific release. So it's an official Orlando Jordan figure. It's probably not in the best condition because it's been played with by me. But as we can see, it's similar tattoo there. Tattoo on the chest. And the tattoo on the shoulder. In the back, this is a more updated tattoo look of him. Trunks look the same. Very similar. And the boots as well. Obviously, there's more detail that he put into this, so it looks good. But as we can see here, this is the figure that it came with. And the head just comes off. That's how it was with the WWE Elite body. It doesn't even stay on at all. There's nothing in it. There is some sort of little thing that they can put in that customizers use. I think it's some sort of like putty type thing where they put it on the ball joint and it helps basically attach to the ball joint, and then you can rotate it without any issues. But for some reason he did not put it on here. So yeah, it looks very open too compared to other like heads that I've seen where give me the Conan. You know, this is a regular ball joint head where it goes into like a cave, and that's where the ball sits, and it's snug. And then with this one, it's completely caved in. So he ended up like cutting it in, and the ball just can't sit on anything because there's nothing to kind of keep it in there. So that's unfortunate, like I said. And the other thing that he did that I thought was very weird is this Orlando Jordan. If you can see here, there's a little scuff here. Now, that was my fault because I was testing out the articulation, and it rubbed up against here, and some paint came off. And then I come to find out that he actually painted this body. So the body is a white guy that he painted completely black. This is blackface right now. And you can see here, under the knee pads, you can see the white skin. It's kind of got attached to the knee pad and kind of melted off. Very interesting choice. I don't know why you wouldn't just take a black wrestler, someone like a Shelton Benjamin, Booker T, who they are already black. Now, obviously, there aren't as many black wrestlers as there are white wrestlers, but I'm sure you could have found a workaround instead of just painting a whole white guy a different color. So yeah, I thought that was a weird choice, and after I was like testing out the articulation, making sure everything's good, all right, like, yeah, the arms, boom, the abdomen crunch, and then I'm like, wait a second. Oh, look, more paint just chipped off here when I brought it up. So yeah, revealing more of the white skin underneath. So that's really unfortunate. But the figure looks great. The head that he did, like, looks fantastic. But it just annoyed me that it was not sitting down. So, hey, I did a workaround, took my Orlando Jordan figure, boom, popped off the head, and popped it onto the Elite body. And here we are. So, a little horrific matchup. But I'm happy to have the head on the body. And this one does articulate as well. As you can see, rotates. But I want to be careful so I don't take off any more paint. But this was a really, really cool one. I'm going to be honest, I don't think we'll ever get an Orlando Jordan figure, whether it be WWE Mattel or another third-party company. So this is going to be the closest thing that we get to a Orlando Jordan figure. And it does look good, besides some of the issues. No torso issue compared to the Jimmy Wang Yang. He didn't end up cutting this or breaking this one open. Or maybe he did and it just sealed together better. I'm not too sure. but as you can see here, these are how I got them. I'm kind of happy about them, and like I said, there's a few things I was kind of like, but like I said, I did place another order. He did put an Instagram post, another one, saying, hey, I'm selling some more customs. If you look at that post of his, I ordered the Deuce and Domino, and it's on its way. I'll have it for the next episode. And if I have issues with those, I probably won't do business with him anymore. But these ones are good. They look good, and they're in decent shape. So it sucks about the Jimmy, but I think the Orlando looks really good. So 2 real cool additions. And to end it out, I did get one more custom. This next person that I got a figure from, also the same thing. I've never worked with him. I've never done business with him. I have reached out to him because this guy is mainly known for doing heads. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's very weird, so I'm just going to call him Maru. I'll put his Instagram account in the description so you can go check it out. But his name's like Marustineau, something along those lines. A lot of letters there. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck, how to pronounce that. So it's just like Maru. That's what I'm going to call him. But he's mainly known for doing custom heads. He designs them, and I believe he also 3D prints them. So that's mainly what he does. That's his thing. He does heads. And I've reached out to him about possibly doing a head. And I will say one thing about this guy, Maru. Communication is not the best in terms of getting a response from him. Kind of a pain in the ass. That is one issue I did have with this guy. But the figure itself looks really good. But I also had an issue with this figure. But the custom that I bought off him was of a Attitude Era star. You know, this is a guy that is known more for his stuff, well, not outside the ring and inside the ring too. Known as kind of a bully. Former hardcore champion, former tag team champion, multi-time tag team champion. Not to discredit his achievements. And just a very tough guy. He's had a couple matches where he's had some really gnarly injuries. He had a match where he broke his arm. Had a match where he broke his neck. Had a match with RVD on ECW where he cut his back open on a table spot. That was fucking gnarly. You might know who I'm talking about, but if you don't, the person I am talking about is Hardcore Holly. This figure looks incredible. The paint job that he did on it looks fantastic. Like, this is a great looking figure. I'm very happy about it. Now, I'll talk about the issue in a second. The, wash that he did on the body to, give it a tan, it's not really showing up too much on the camera that I can see, but it's kind of got, a redness, like he's been having a match and kind of building up his sweats and kind of turning red. Maybe he's taking a couple chops and stuff. The figure looks good. This is also a 3D printed head that he did and created, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks exactly like Bob Holly. And we'll show off the attire. Lift up the arms. Hardcore Holly. Looks good. Boots. Looks good. The back looks good. Most of the back looks good. So I'm going to quickly talk about the issue that I had with it. So when I get a custom figure from whoever it may be, I treat it like it is a newborn child. I am so careful with it. I treat it as delicate as possible. You know, I treat it like it is the most fragile thing in the world. And when I was taking a look at it, I don't know, the issue that I have, I don't know if it's my fault. I don't know if it's his fault. I don't know who to blame. But when I took it out of the package, I was looking at it. I'm like, man, this is a great looking figure. And I was turning around, and when I turned it around, there was a gigantic crack here, and this was missing. It came like this. I took it out of the package, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? I ended up looking in the package, and I found one piece of the head, which would go... So it would go like that, and there's another piece here. I wasn't able to find this piece, but yeah, this was just in the package. So I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming myself. I don't know what happened. He packed it extremely well, wrapped it to the T. I don't know. I really don't know what happened with the figure. This is a weird crack too, because even if the post guy, the guy who delivered it, UPS, FedEx, whatever the fuck, even if he, field kicked the box, this is a very weird break for something. It's just really obscure. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what happened, but yeah, this is how it came out of the box, which is very unfortunate. If it broke a little more here, so it was like even, that'd be cool, but just the kind of dip and then boom and then normal, it sucks. So I saved the piece. I'm probably going to end up throwing it out. There's no point in fucking gluing it to the back of the head. I think it would limit the articulation. And I think that's kind of what might have happened, because, yeah, I don't think there was much clearance for stuff for the neck to move. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm probably going to throw this out, but, yeah, a little unfortunate, but honestly, I can kind of overlook it because the figure just looks so fucking incredible. Like, this looks better than what Mattel produces. Like, it just looks fucking awesome. I'm a really big fan of this. I'm honestly surprised we haven't got a Hardcore Holly figure already with WWE. Very, very surprised. I feel like that's an easy one to pump out. It doesn't have any crazy tattoos. He does have crazy tattoos now. I remember seeing him, a recent photo of him, like in the past 5-7 years, and he's got like a big arm tattoo now. I think it's some tribal type thing. But yeah, he's a pretty plain looking guy, and I'm very surprised we haven't got a figure yet. I feel like out of all three of the customs, who we're going to pull up in a second, I feel like he has the best chance of getting a figure produced on him. Orlando Jordan, I think nothing at all. I don't think he even has anything to do with the wrestling business anymore. I don't know if there's a demand for him. Jimmy Wang Yang, I think there's a slight chance. I know he's retired and he has nothing to do with wrestling. I think his daughter was getting into wrestling at one point. I could be wrong on that. I believe I remember reading that his daughter was looking to get into the business. So I think there's a slight chance for a Jimmy Wang Yang, like a very low chance, maybe like a 5% chance. Hardcore Holly, I think there's a very high chance. Sign him to a WWE Legends deal, or even like these independent companies, Zombie Sailor Toys, Cella Toys. Somebody along those lines can, talk him into producing a figure. So I think he did a fantastic job. Maru looks great. This is another figure that he just kind of posted and said, hey, I'm selling a custom. Is anyone interested? And I'm like, yeah, that figure looks absolutely awesome. And I talked to him about maybe doing a Crash figure to kind of go along with Hardcore Holly. I didn't get any response yet, so I don't know what's happening there. But yeah, I would like a Crash Holly to match with Hardcore Holly. Really cool figure, very happy about that, and he did a fantastic job. So like I said, his Instagram account will be in the description, and you can go check out his other works. He's got some cool head designs. He mainly does the heads. He does do a few customs here and there, but if you do go to his page, it's mainly like digital renders of heads for random wrestlers. So definitely go check him out, and maybe even give him a follow if you like his stuff enough. So really cool figure. Super happy about Hardcore Holly. And Hardcore Holly is actually the last figure that we have to show. That is it for the figure showing off portion of the video. Now we're going to move into pre-orders and news. Now we are moving on to the pre-order and news section. And honestly, it's quite small this month. I did not pre-order too much stuff. I only pre-ordered 2 things. I was on the fence of a few things, but I actually only pre-ordered 2. And then in terms of news, there was only just a little bit, so we'll just get into it. In terms of pre-orders, like I said, I only pre-ordered 2 things, and there were 2 things that we talked about on the last episode, where I talked about these Street Fighter figures that were announced by a company called Jada Toys. They announced these Street Fighter figures, and they also announced some Mega Man figures, and we talked about, if you want to know more about that, check out the last episode. But they officially announced the pre-orders for Street Fighter figures, Ryu and Fei Long, and I have pre-ordered both. Now, if you watched the last episode, in the news section, we talked about how the Wave 1 was technically supposed to be 3 figures, which is Ryu, Fei Long, and Chun-Li, and Chun-Li was actually not up for pre-order. They announced that there was some issue with the Chun-Li figure, so there's going to be a bit of a delay. So I don't know if it's going to be released at a later date, or maybe moved to Wave 2. I'm not too sure. They haven't haven't really provided an update on that, so can't really speak too much on the Chun-Li. But as far as the Ryu and Fei Long, those are up for pre-order. Pre-order them on Big Bad Toy Store if you are interested as well. I will put the links in the description. I believe they're $24.99, which is like a decent price, but honestly, the packaging itself looks incredible. The packaging is honestly my favorite part. I think it looks absolutely phenomenal, and I love that arcade retro look, so really happy about that. I think they knocked it absolutely out of the park. You get an extra set of hands, an extra head, a effect piece. Whenever Chun-Li does go up for pre-order, I will talk about it here. But like I said, only Ryu and Fei Long were announced and are currently up for pre-order still, if you are interested. So like I said, I didn't pre-order too many things. It was only those two. But I was on the fence about a few things. And the one I was on the fence about was McFarlane's DC Multiverse. We're going to jump to the news portion now. McFarlane announced a bunch of cool DC Multiverse figures. The first one they announced was the Dark Knight Trilogy wave, which I think looks pretty cool. We'll talk about that in a second. But in the wave, we have Batman, Scarecrow, Joker, Two-Face, and all four of those characters come with Build-A-Figure pieces where you can build out the larger version of Bane. All of them look pretty cool. I'm actually quite a fan of this wave. I was thinking about getting the Batman. I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I'm going to get it right away, because this just kind of screams to me like a wave that's going to sell out quickly, because I think there's a lot of fanfare for it. So I'm like, I don't know if I should pre-order it or just wait and eventually I'll get it. I'm not too sure, but I am on the fence about the Batman because I just think it looks really good. Scarecrow looks alright. I wasn't really a fan of that look in the movie. Joker looks good as well, and Two-Face looks good as well, and the Bane looks pretty good. But that Batman's probably going to be the only one that I pick up, and I'm not sure if I'm going to yet. I'm still on the fence about it. Really cool wave, though. I really liked how it turned out, and hopefully we can see some more Batman movie figures. I would like to see, like, Batman Forever. I'd like to see the original Batman 89 movie with Michael Keaton. Obviously, we're going to be getting, like, the Flash movies, and we'll probably get a Michael Keaton there. But if we can do like a retro Michael Keaton Batman and Joker, and I don't know who else you would do from that movie because no one else really stands out. Maybe the henchman for Joker. I forgot what his name was. Bob, I believe it was. I'm sure we could figure out a wave for that. But I would like to see some of those. McFarlane also announced another wave, which was a Teen Titans themed wave, where in the wave we get a Nightwing, Arsenal, Donna Troy, and Raven, and all of those figures come with a Build-A-Figure piece to build out a Beast Boy who's kind of mutated in a way. I think he's got like fangs and stuff and fur on his body, but he's not like an actual animal of some sort. He's just kind of like, he's just bigger. In terms of people in this wave, I was very close to ordering Arsenal and Raven. Those are the ones I was kind of interested in. Nightwing, I already have a Nightwing figure. I'm pretty happy with it. Donna Troy, I was kind of interested in it, but I didn't really like the look. It didn't really do anything for me, so I'm like, I'm going to skip out on this. And same thing with Arsenal and Raven, where it's like, I don't know, I just didn't really like how they turned out. I thought they were kind of disappointing for me. I was very tempted to order the Raven, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe eventually. I don't think I want to pay full price for it. And I was kind of excited, especially for Raven. I think she's just a pretty cool character. And finally getting a figure for her. And like I said, she looks all right. If I end up picking anybody up from this wave, it will most likely be Raven. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't pre-order it for whatever reason. But I think once it goes on sale, even if it's just a few bucks off, I'll probably pick it up. But it's going to be a skip for me for now. And actually, speaking of Beast Boy, they actually announced another Beast Boy figure, which is going to be a Walmart exclusive. It's going to be a gold label figure. Basically, his just regular look. You know, when you think of Beast Boy, you just think of like a dude. This is going to be that version of him, and I'll have pictures up on the screen. So it looks cool. It'd be cool if he also comes with like maybe a green bird or like a dog or something, like some accessories where he transforms into some of these animals. But I think it's just going to be the figure itself and nothing else. But I think it'd be cool if they kind of add some animals to kind of spice it up a little bit. And another gold label figure that they announced was kind of another Teen Titans character. We've got Impulse. I actually really like how this figure turned out. I think it looks really good. I definitely want to pick this up for my Flash collection. Unfortunately, this and the Beast Boy have not gone up for pre-order yet. So that's unfortunate. Otherwise, I'd probably pick up both of those. Gold label figure, usually an exclusive. They didn't announce what he's going to be an exclusive towards. If it's going to be a McFarlane store figure, Walmart, Target, they did not announce. But when I find that out, I will talk about it here. But I definitely want to pick up that Impulse and that Beast Boy. I think both of them turned out quite well. So that was it for McFarlane. TMNT, the Loyal Subjects Best Action line. They actually announced some figures for their TMNT collection, as I just said. And I'm actually pretty excited about them. Well, two in particular, sorry. They announced a Wave 4, finally. It's been a little bit since we got Wave 3. Actually, it hasn't been too long. But it's been long enough, and I'm not sure which figures of these are going to be in Wave 4. I'll just talk about them, but usually the waves are 4 figures, and they revealed 5 of them, so I'm not sure which is going to be which. Maybe one's going to be an exclusive for somewhere, but anyways, we'll talk about the reveals. So the figures they revealed was Slash, who I am super excited about. This is probably the most excited figure I am for that they announced. I think he looks incredible. Callback to the old TMNT cartoon. Whenever they announce the pre-orders, I will definitely be placing an order. Unfortunately, they just announced the figures. They haven't announced a pre-order along with these. But as soon as that happens, I will definitely be ordering Slash. And they also announced a variant for the Slash figure. You can get the normal version, or you can get a glow-in-the-dark version. For me personally, when I grab it, I'm going to get the normal version. They also announced an April O'Neil. This is another figure that they announced that I think looks super cool. Really big fan of this one. Can't wait to grab her. And she's another one that they also announced a variant with. The other figure that she's going to come with is going to be a different color scheme. Same accessories, just different color scheme for her costume. They announced a new Casey Jones. It's called Urban Legend, I believe. Not too familiar with this costume design. He's got I don't know if it's Confederate flag, some sort of American design on his mask. This is kind of a skip for me. I already have a Casey Jones. I just want kind of that default look. So this one I wasn't too interested in. This is also going to have another variant figure where it comes in a black and white battle damaged variant. It looked cool, but like I said, not for me. And then the last 2 figures they announced are going to be re-releases. The first one being Krang, who we revealed on the last episode of the figure videos, who comes in as Walker. It's basically the same figure, but they're recoloring it, where the Walker's got more of a purple tint to it instead of... I don't even remember what the color was of the last one, but it's a recolor, so this one's going to be a skip for me. And another figure that they announced is a Rocksteady, and again, this is also a repaint. They've already released a Rocksteady figure. This one is going to be coming out with, I believe it was a red camo type look. Not too interested in that one. I still haven't got Rocksteady. I plan on getting him, but I'm going to get the his original release that they did, and not this one here. So a couple cool figures that I'm interested in. Definitely want to grab Slash and April O'Neil whenever they get announced. Hopefully we'll get the pre-orders up for the next episode and I can talk about them. But whenever they do go up for pre-order, I will be talking about them here. These are just figures that were announced. Nothing else. Next, we're moving on to Marvel Legends. They actually had quite a bit of announcements in the month of February. They announced 2 new waves. The first wave that they announced was an Ant-Man Quantumania wave, obviously in line with the movie that just came out. But unfortunately, the movie was actually bumped up from the original release date, so the figures aren't going to correspond with the release of the movie. The figures are going to come out a couple months later, which is unfortunate, but shit happens. But in this wave of figures, we get an MCU Ant-Man, MCU Wasp, MCU Kang, Ultron, future Ant-Man, who looks really cool. I've never seen this design. I was actually quite a fan of it when I was looking at it, but I don't know if I'll be picking it up, but it does look cool. And also a part of that wave, Crossfire, and a character called Egghead. And all of those figures that I just talked about also come with a Build-A-Figure piece to build out Stinger, who is Ant-Man's daughter, and that's going to be an MCU version of her. Most of this wave is going to be a skip for me. I do want to grab Crossfire and Egghead. They just seem like really obscure villains, but because I'm not too familiar with them, I'm going to wait for them to go on sale. I don't think there's going to be a big demand for them. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's going to be, so I didn't pre-order those. I'll get them when I get them, but those are the two figures that I have my eye on. As far as everyone else, I don't really collect MCU figures, so I'm not too interested. The future Ant-Man, maybe? I'm not too sure. And then the Ultron, I already have an Ultron figure, and I'm pretty happy with it, so... most of this wave is going to be a skip for me. Another wave that's going to be a skip for me because this wave is going to be basically just all MCU figures, and it is the wave for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that was also revealed in the month of February. Usually with the MCU waves, they'll kind of sprinkle in a couple comic characters. It'll be like mostly MCU, and then we'll get like 2 or 3 comic characters, but that wasn't the case here. This wave is all MCU designs, where in this wave we're going to get a Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, Nebula, Kraglin, Adam Warlock, Rocket Raccoon, and all of those figures will come with a Build-A-Figure piece to build out Cosmo the dog. Overall, the wave is going to be a complete skip for me. Like I said, I don't collect MCU figures, so I'm not too interested in everybody here. The figures look pretty cool, but most importantly, I cannot wait for this movie because it looks fucking dope. And they also announced a deluxe Groot. Forgot about that as well. That was announced along with the wave, but this is going to be a separate release. It's not part of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 wave. This is going to be a separate release, a deluxe Groot, which looks pretty cool. Big figure, comes with wings, and it also comes with a baby Rocket Raccoon, which looked pretty adorable. Again, that's another one that's skipped because MCU figure. And then the last one that they revealed, which I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't know if I want to grab this. I don't believe a pre-order went up for it, but if it did, I don't even know if I'd pick it up. But they announced a retro Power Man, or some people might know him as Luke Cage. Yes, this is one of his early looks. I think this might be his debut in Marvel comics. Looks cool. For me, I don't have a Luke Cage in my collection, but for me, I'd want a more modern look where he's got like the shaved head, maybe a yellow shirt, something along those lines. I'm not sure if there's a Luke Cage in the Marvel Legends collection that I'm a fan of yet. I got to do some research on that, but I'll probably be skipping out on this just because it's not who I think of when I think of Luke Cage. I got my own visual, and this isn't it, but it is a very cool figure for those like classic collectors. And then last but not least, we've got some wrestling news. Yeah, this, like I said, the news portion is going to be pretty short. As far as the wrestling news, all of it is going to be AEW. There was a bunch of reveals that came out. So Chris Jericho had his cruise. It's a really cool idea. I believe it's a yearly thing where he just kind of rents a boat, has fans come, they all buy cabins, and there's tons of entertainment. There's wrestling, there's comedy, there's music. It seems like a really fun time. On the cruise, they had Jazzwares come and reveal some figures. So they showed some photos of actual figures in hand, they showed some renders of figures, and they announced some reveals. So the first thing they talked about was AEW Unmatched 7. They revealed some photos for it, which look pretty cool. You've got Hook, Penta, Phoenix, Pac, and Thunder Rosa. All of them look pretty good. I really like the Phoenix. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up, though. Hook is probably going to be the one that I lean towards the most. Hopefully it comes with the FTW title. I think that'd be a cool accessory for him. And this is kind of a weird wave because it's only got 5 figures, where usually waves come in 6 figures. 6th figure that was originally announced as part of this wave was a CM Punk LJN style figure. But I don't know if they delayed it or pulled it. I'm not sure what they're doing with CM Punk figures at the moment. As far as this wave looks, it's only going to be 5 figures, which is kind of whatever. And after that, they revealed AEW Unmatched 8 renders. So the wave was already announced, but here they just showed us what the figures were going to look like, and they revealed prototype shots for Brody King, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Abaddon, and Penta Oscuro. No 6 figure, just 5 figures in the wave. I'm not sure who they pulled from it, but as far as how everyone looks in the wave, I think they look pretty good. That Brody King especially, I think they killed it with the tattoos. It looks very, very good. And they also revealed renders for AEW Unrivaled 13, which is going to be Darby Allin, Sting, Danhausen, Wardlow, Butcher, Blade, and the Bunny. We're finally getting the Butcher and the Blade. I've been waiting for these figures for a very long time. I'm actually quite a big fan of the Butcher and the Blade. So those are going to be day one pickups for me. I might even grab Bunny. I'm not too sure. I don't usually pick up women wrestling figures, but I might have to get Bunny to complete the whole team. As far as everyone else in the wave, the Sting and the Darby are kind of a miss for me. The Wardlow I actually really like. I do have a Wardlow, his first figure that was released, but this Wardlow in the red attire, I actually really like how this turned out. And then there's Danhausen, and Danhausen looks cool. I don't know if I'd pick this up or if I'd wait for him to come out in wrestling gear, but the figure itself looks pretty cool with his face paint, but I don't know if I'd pick it up. But Butcher, Blade, and maybe even the Bunny, definitely going to be pickups for me. And then after that, they revealed a couple waves, and they revealed AEW Unmatched 9 and AEW Unrivaled 14. For these figures, they just revealed the wave. They just said, hey, this is the wave that's coming out, and these are the people in the wave. We didn't get any pictures whatsoever. So in terms of the waves, AEW Unmatched 9, we're going to get Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, so basically the whole Blackpool Combat Club, which is pretty cool. Also in the wave, we're going to get Alex Reynolds, Jamie Hayter, and probably the weirdest addition, Paul White, Big Show, as Captain Insano. He did it in a movie. I'm not too sure. It was an Adam Sandler movie. I don't remember which one. Very obscure choice. But this whole wave actually looks pretty cool. For me, I definitely want to grab a Wheeler Yuta. Hopefully he comes with the ROH Pure title. Same thing with Claudio. I hope he comes with the world title, the ROH world title. I think that would be pretty cool. Definitely want to grab Alex Reynolds to add on to my Dark Order collection. And everyone else, probably a skip, but depending on their attire and whatnot, I might pick them up. But Wheeler Yuta and Alex Reynolds, for sure, 100%. And then AEW Unrivaled 14 was also announced, like I mentioned. And in that wave, we are going to get Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, Tony Storm, The Acclaimed, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens. And we're also going to be getting Daddy Ass Billy Gunn. This is pretty cool. They announced this wave originally where I don't remember who was in the wave, but I know Acclaimed got bumped up. They were originally in Unrivaled Wave 15, I believe, and they bumped him up to Unrivaled 14, and they're actually going to get a Billy Gunn. I don't know if Billy Gunn was supposed to get a figure, but with the success of Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, it looks like they're fast-tracking a figure, which is really cool. Happy to see that. The Swerve Strickland, I really want to grab. We did see a slight prototype early in the year. Definitely want to pick that up, and the Acclaimed. And yeah, those are definitely going to be some pickups for me whenever they come out. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff for AEW, a lot of cool figures we can look forward to. That's going to be it for the news section. Like I said, not too much in terms of pre-order and news. That was it. So we're going to be wrapping it up here. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of my monthly figure purchases. Hope you guys like the new set. I think it's a more of a clean look. I was checking out some of the footage, and I noticed with the black background, a lot of dust particles flying around, and I was like, oh man, that's kind of something. I was like, oh, I'm breathing all of that, but I didn't realize how dusty the area I'm in is until, you see it on camera on a black background. So let me know what your guys' thoughts on the new sets. Do you like it? I'm not looking for insane feedback like, oh, well, that shade of black is not the best. You like it? Yay. You didn't like it? Nay. Let me know in the comments section, or maybe what I can add to it to kind of spice it up. But other than that, that is going to be it for me. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep up with everything that's going on the channel. I've gotten a lot of email updates on some pre-orders that will be coming in, hopefully in time for the next month. I think I should be getting some of them in the month of March. And if so, March is going to be a pretty big month, so you're not going to want to miss it. Pretty excited about some of the stuff that could be coming in time. So look forward to that. Other than that, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep up with everything that's going on the channel. I'll catch you guys next month. And until then, guys, peace out.